The following program contains adult language and juvenile conversations. Listener discretion is advised.
I like Star Wars, as evident by the fact that a few times now I've talked about it for I think upwards of about 20 hours at this point. I like it. I grew up on it. I like it. I like the new ones. There hasn't been a single one that I dislike yet. So good Star Wars fans and folks like me, I'm not talking to you. Kids who think that Disney is using Star Wars to promote propaganda to you. And by the way, you are pronouncing inclusion wrong. It's just insane. And second of all, here's where I'm going to upset maybe all of you, maybe both sides. Star Wars isn't that good. It's fucking Star Wars. It's not that good. George Lucas cobbled together a whole bunch of shit he liked. Literally. Like every single part of that is a whole nother movie he likes. And then in anything he wrote or directed in the series past then, it's the same thing. It's a whole bunch of fucking movies he likes. And that's the hill you dummies are dying on. That's what's turning you into racist, misogynistic, sexist dummies. A fucking highlight show of the 30 years of cinema that came before Star Wars come out. If you were upset about Hidden Fortress, oh, you wouldn't like that. That has real live Asian people in it. But I get it. Today is another day that I'm ashamed to be a nerd. But I'm sure before the show is over, somebody here will make me even more ashamed to be a nerd. But for right now, welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 317 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is a phantasmagorical spin kick straight through the heart of pop culture. Navigated by the Deadites. The Deadites are the world's greatest electroshock band. We destroy monsters, we drink booze, we win championship bouts. We also make you ashamed to be a nerd. Or
we don't. Well, if you were at lunch with us the other day, you would have probably found one of three reasons to be ashamed to be a nerd. But at the end of the day,
you know what? I'm gonna take exception to what you said. I think Star Wars is good, and who's one of your favorite directors? Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah, no, I said that. Well, I mean, let's be honest. George Lucas is no QT, but I'm
not comparing him, but it is a greatest hits.
Right, but
what
at the same time,
you're accusing Star Wars of, Quentin Tarantino does in all of his movies.
But I'm not gonna fucking climb up to Nerd Mountain and die because of Pulp Fiction either, because I understand what it is. Nerds. I wouldn't do it for anything because I'm not an animal. And I deserve to have the internet and be able to vote, which every day it's proved that right that should not be a civil right. Not everyone should vote, and not everyone should be able to talk on the internet. But I agree, and I said I liked Star Wars. I said I watched it. I talk about it for hours at a time with you guys. I talk about it in real life. I have Star Wars toys and posters. I like it. But I'm just trying to put things in perspective for people.
Right.
Like it's not...
slow it down, guys. All right, it's fun, but let's not get it twisted.
And I don't know. I always grew up feeling like Disney was pretty conservative. So the fact that all of a sudden people are saying that they're the ones who are forcing, like, it's like, wow, this corporate infrastructure has a political agenda. That's not normally the way it works.
Yeah, and everyone has a short memory. It's what happened recently. Right. It's not like what Disney has done over the course of their entire career. Because if you go back, I mean, they did put out Song of the South, right?
Yeah, and everyone has a short memory too.
Right.
Yes. So it's whatever it's whatever suits an argument. Like
right.
that's what people use. And look at our fucking president. Like he says, I didn't say this thing that I said.
Right.
He like
on the
that.
internet.
that is there. People can go and listen to a tape of him saying something, and he says, "No, I didn't say that."
Well, I can't wait for him to come on and say that.
So that is the culture now.
It's true, and there's a
people
mob
just
culture
dismiss truth and
Yeah,
you know.
because truth isn't truth, you know.
Well,
Okay,
But-
Giuliani.
but the I mean, the reality is, I'm waiting for Giuliani or Trump to come on and say, "This is good news because this means that they only found him on 10 of the 20 things that he could have been convicted of, so he's only 50% guilty."
Yeah. Well, the other one went to a mistrial, so
Right,
it
yeah.
doesn't mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I'm not going to talk about it in length, but like, you know, someone has got accused of doing something allegedly terrible that there's a lot to unpack with this particular crime. So it's not worth taking a lot of time. But what makes me sad about it, in addition to the fact that it might have happened or not happened, is that all of a sudden people are piling on and throwing elbows. And that's the problem. Like, you still go in. I was in a chat today talking about I was reading people talking about a James Gunn thing, and there are literally people who still think he's a pedophile because someone said that.
Yeah.
You know, so now when MSN or someone else is spinning things a certain way, like, I want to at least take a step back to learn the facts. And I learned some facts today, and it was gross. But at the end of the day, I still don't know all the parts. But no one cares. People are jumping in and fucking dropping Dusty Rhodes elbows by just one thing that one news source says, and it's not good.
Once again, pick and choosing.
Right.
You know, if you hear something, oh well, I heard it here. It's got to be true.
Right.
Like, we need to be, more, you know, like, careful with that sort of thing. Like,
Yeah,
because
but you also
someone
got-
could.
you also got to consider the source too.
Well, that's the thing. People don't give a fuck. People don't give a fuck about sources. That's what we're talking about. What was that, Bars?
Because the one that's at there'll always be in these things, there'll be somebody at the bottom of the pig pile that did or didn't do something wrong, and then there'll be somebody right on top of him and next to him because it's Monster Zero. Because he's up at 5 a.m. and he's the first fucking elbow thrown usually. Like, without very much, like, you know, without any research at all. Just like whatever.
No.
Dead! Dead!
You don't know what I research.
Nothing.
Says you guys.
What do you say then? Do you?
Huh?
Do you?
Do I research?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you research?
Everything.
Not for me to say. Let
do
me
you
do some.
suppose would
Let me
say?
do some research on that, and I'll get back to you.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
I know. Sorry, I had a Raven Shadow moment there for a second.
Yeah. And I did do some research on something to defend Raven Shadow a little tiny bit.
Well, I didn't write anything.
No. I know.
No, don't eat. Wait, if
What'd you
it's
do?
what I think it is,
Okay.
don't bring it up because he's
All right.
not going to be happy. Okay.
Well, I'm
What did
defending
you
him.
do? Look through an issue of Highlights for Kids?
No, I'm defending him.
No.
Kind of. But Wolfie said no, so I won't do it.
Well, if it's something that happened off the show, I don't think it's worth defending.
That's
you know?
fair. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
Because Raven Shadow did get a little heated over this past week.
I did get heated.
Even though he promised he would
Yeah.
never again.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that. When did
Yeah,
I
you
say
did.
that?
We were outside of like the day after you almost fought somebody the last time we all had dinner together. You said that you wouldn't get mad like that again.
No, I didn't.
You did.
I didn't.
You did because I said I wouldn't do shows with you anymore, and you said I won't get mad like that again.
I didn't get mad like that. But no, the thing you were talking about was I expressed a disdain last time we were here before we went on. Right, so three
Yeah.
times. So I think I gave an impression of distinct, not a fan of that topic. And then I quietly went out to do my business outside, and I came back, and this one starts, which then leads into you doing your thing, which then either may or may not involve somebody else. And it was like, hey, just in case you missed it, I've had enough of that topic.
Well, the
wait,
company you were supporting actually last year took that logo off their brand.
Yeah, actually, I noticed it. I
they-
noticed the last couple of weeks.
Because
Never even
in
noticed.
2017,
I
because
never
they
even
are. I mean, here's the problem. They shouldn't be left. They're supposed to be news, but that's a different story.
Right,
entirely.
whatever.
But-
Whatever. Don't do anything. Don't wear anything. Stop watching Dario Argento movies. Don't watch Triple X.
I don't-
Everyone's bad.
But I mean, the so
Don't
you
drink
were
Sam Adams.
you were right. You were right in your ascension. So I was apologizing because I said you were probably wrong, and
Okay.
I am publicly, because you say I never do, saying you're right.
I thank you for that.
You were so right about this that the company you were defending doesn't even want to have the logo that you had on. So you were right.
Well, they gave me a free hat before.
That's how you get your free clothes.
Yeah. Yeah. Who has fucking free clothes?
Yeah, right.
Well, that's an expensive shirt. I actually saw
That's
that
true.
today. I don't know why I came across that particular shirt,
I
but
love
Sid,
this shirt.
that is nice.
It's a good shirt.
And just for the record, this was the exact opposite of what was just said. Let's not talk about this on the air. And you guys went on the 10-minute rant on the air.
Ari should be
So
producer.
bravo.
I thought it was important for me to say Michael Rainshaw was right for one time.
Thank you.
For what time?
One time so far
Yeah.
today.
And I should thank him because all Tiny and I sit downstairs during sound check. Was do you even watch The Simpsons? So he gave us hours of entertainment in his anger. So
It was a very entertaining night.
yeah.
So let me go ahead and talk about what we're going to do this evening. We'll do some intros
Oh.
because we actually got some feedback about intros.
And they like them, don't they?
They do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, you figured out how to leave feedback, did you, Raven Shadow?
Yeah, but that's not a good thing. People voted for Trump, and they also almost voted for the Gray. I don't trust them anymore. They're
God.
off the reservation. They don't know what they're talking about.
Well, I read about it.
You're doing what he said. You're just picking the side of that argument that you agree with.
Did you research it?
No.
Who? What, the fans?
That was
Did you probably call
Anyone,
them and ask
anyone.
them to send feedback?
No.
I'm going to investigate this. I bet you that's what happened. I bet you were like corny. Send feedback and say that you like intros.
No,
No, it
it's
wasn't
Cody's zone,
corny. It
man.
wasn't corny. It
Yeah,
was-
see?
Well.
Who's the goose now?
It
Not
was
me.
someone who was a first-time listener.
We can
actually.
bring up some other stuff that
Oh,
we can't
so
say
you-
on the air.
So he called up somebody
It
who,
was someone's first show.
Yeah. This is going to be somebody from the shop. I know it.
No.
And,
How do you know who it is?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Ted doesn't work there.
Ted who?
I don't know.
Right.
Oh, wait.
Ted, yeah, I call Ted Levine. Ted Levine, are you a big fan of intros?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I love
yeah.
intros.
I love
Sure.
intros. Yeah.
What does Precious think?
Say what?
What does Precious think about the intros?
Precious, what do you think about the intros?
Woof, woof.
Oh, yeah, she likes it too.
See?
It's been a while since we heard from Ted Levine.
Well, I've been on vacation, you know.
Where?
Well, I've been hanging around in the Midwest and just chilling out.
Chilling out.
Yeah. That's it. I live a pretty mundane life. Yeah.
A hemorrhoid life.
All right,
I had
so
a bad case of the hemorrhoids, you know. So I got up and doctor told me to walk around, and then that was pretty much it.
Did
All
it
right.
fall out when you walked
No,
around? Oh, 'cause
no,
that was probably a
you
baby.
think it would have, yeah, but well, I don't know. I'll do some research on it.
all right, so
But you know, I think
guys,
that-
shut up, Ted! Jesus fucking Christ!
Oh,
On
wait.
tonight's show, we're going to be discussing the film Puppet Master, the Littlest Reich. So we'll be discussing that, and then later on, we're going to be talking about our favorite cinematic puppets and dolls. Now, you didn't know that was coming up, right?
No, I'm not prepared. When was that decided?
last week.
Maybe if you could log on to your
I know.
Facebook account.
I'm not having good luck. See, it keeps doing that thing again.
I'm not sure that it's locked, actually.
So we'll be talking about that. If you guys are listening live and you'd like to submit your thoughts on the topic, please feel free to send a voice message or an email to podcast@trickortreatradio.com and let us know your favorite cinematic puppets and or dolls. And also, I figured we'll probably, maybe in the intro here, we'll talk a little bit about the Deadites 93 show and a little bit about our weekend. And I guess we'll go into some intros.
Oh, the people have spoken.
Yes, the people have spoken and they like intros.
I think
So-
me and Monster Zero just want an intro to be
You don't want intros? Okay. All right.
like
Yeah.
Dynamo.
Yeah.
All right. I am Johnny Wolfenstein, the pencil pusher and producer of media for Trick or Treat Radio, the Deadites. Also one of the co-hosts of the Outside Corner Fantasy Baseball Podcast and the Five Horsemen Wrestling Podcast. We also have Dynamo Mars. We also have Monster Zero. We have the Triumph Riding, Stage Erecting, Whiskey Drinking, Chief of Security, the Warrior of Nor'easters, America's Sweetheart, and Rick Rubin's stunt double, Ares, God of War.
Hello.
He didn't say whether or not he wanted it, so I gave it to him. So
If it doesn't affect me one way or the other, and if people want to hear it, they can hear it.
there you go.
That means he wants it, Johnny. I can speak Aries.
And he's got to sneeze loud enough that could break eardrums.
Yeah.
Yeah, broke a poster over there. They knocked off the walls.
We also have the chain smoking, hand kissing, baby shaking, lorazepam loving, former comic book reading nerd, the official smoke chamber for Castle Wolfenstein, the Pippa Promotions, the Italian rapscallion, the professional bullshitter, the cool principal, the proprietor of the sexy speakeasy, Mr. Runtime, and the Parisian Bruja himself, Michael Ravenshadow.
That's right, Johnny. And this is a much faster thing with those other intros taken out. So this is good. We're being very economical.
You know what the amazing thing
you
about
don't have
it
to eat up the extra time, though.
is that we make fun of Monster Zero for writing for Horror Hound Weekend one time. This motherfucker's
Horror Magazine.
Horror Hound Magazine. This motherfucker's got a 7-minute intro, and he hadn't even wrote for nothing one time. The guy,
It's not 7 minutes.
the guy who did the less things has the most
Time it.
names.
I've written a lot that you guys haven't read. So thank you about that.
He is right.
Yeah,
But you hate to read.
no, I can read now. I have my progressives. I can see again. I'm reading comics again.
What does reading have to do with writing anything? I read all
Ask-
sorts of crazy shit.
Ask your partner over here.
He's not my partner.
No.
I'm
I'm my own partner.
Dynamo DTA. I'd be Aries' partner, but he's like a rattlesnake. He's gonna go after me at it. I'm just waiting.
Yeah. He won't save your life when the Sasquatch comes in.
Zero life save.
Yeah.
DTA. That tiny's ass.
What?
I don't know.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I don't
I
know.
can't wait to hear what people in the. I'm lying. I don't care what people said about the intro.
I love it.
Yeah, no. First time, last time. It'll be nice to hear from Raymond Shaw's uncle, though.
Listen.
You know who it is. I can tell.
On my mother's
can
eyes,
tell.
I don't. I really don't.
We do have some people hanging out in the chat room.
Thank you.
We have
Hey, Mom.
Knock it off.
Marsman. You sitting down?
Yes,
We got the Ledge.
I know.
Oh.
Hey.
And the
wow.
Ledge says, also, can I just say that, believe it or not, there were good movies made before Gunn started making movies. Disney is doing what they believe they need to do to survive the current climate. And Guardians will survive without him, and I own Disney stock, so all this stuff hurts my portfolio, goddammit.
I agree with Ledge.
And Slagoth says, what's up, you savages?
Hi,
Hey, dude.
Oily Maniac's hanging out. He says, what up, everyone?
that's my boy
Hey.
right there.
And Slagoth says, wow, still hating on the gray.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, Slagoth. I
course
saw it
you
before.
And then we also have Alicia's hanging out. She says, hi, boys.
Oh. Wow. Very nice.
So got some new faces, some old faces hanging out.
Pretty faces.
We got you. Yeah, Ledger is pretty.
He's fucking gorgeous. He just showed up to see if I was actually gonna piss him off. That was it.
Yeah.
Oh, and Evil Corny saying, hey, what's up, mother lovers?
There you go.
Good
Yeah,
man.
I do love my mother.
I love her a lot.
Yeah, we all are big fans of your mom.
Yeah.
Hey,
What about your own? What about your own moms? You don't love your own moms?
I did love my own moms.
So why don't you say that?
Mom's plural.
Yeah.
You have multiple moms?
I like mom.
My mom.
I like moms as a concept.
What?
Just the idea that moms exist, I'm a fan of.
Well, you wouldn't exist without them. So
That's true.
Well, now I know what my time travel fantasy is.
All right, well, should I should call her and say I love her?
yeah, call her right now.
All right, call her right now.
Yeah, we'll get her on.
This
get her
will
on
do
there.
fact that he actually knows how to use his phone.
I use my phone all the time.
Show us.
You've never heard the other end of a conversation with you, though. It sounds like you're like, I think this.
That's not true.
It does. It's really hard to hear you on the phone. It might be the booze, though.
The booze?
Yeah.
Maybe. Or my headset. I talk with the headset sometimes so I can
Peace.
walk around, talk with my hands too. What?
All right, so that's what's going on for tonight. We've done the intros.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about this past weekend. And the big thing that happened, obviously the Deadites 93 played, but for me, I got to hang out with Psycho Patrick, with my brother. and we all got to see him.
It was
Yeah.
fucking great.
That was awesome.
Yeah, he
And,
looks good.
Yeah, he does. So he was in town for the weekend, and it was a great time. And so we all went out to eat.
Yep.
We went to let me just say, Raven Shadow got the table.
Yep.
You did
Complaining that people weren't there.
you did a good job getting the table.
I
though.
did get the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did do. You
Raven
got a
Shadow,
good
you
table
shouldn't,
too.
You shouldn't complain that people are late because it gives you the opportunity to save the day.
I wasn't complaining.
He said you were.
Yeah.
You're fucking lying.
No,
You're
you
making
were.
shit up.
You were like, oh, they're not here yet, and I said, oh, he said 4. He told me 4:45, and you said I didn't get that text.
This
And I
is a
said he
bunch-
even told me to send a text to Aries. That's 100% true.
That's not 100% true.
It is.
You're showing off because Tiny
Mhm.
was there. And you're being
Tiny
outrageous.
wasn't
It
there
doesn't
yet.
matter what time you guys showed up because you know Wolfie was going to be late anyway.
You ready, Wolfie?
Yep.
I didn't complain.
I swear on my cat that conversation happened. My grandmother's grave and Miss Matrix.
He's just saying that because he knows
You
those
swear
things that
on
he cares
her?
about. Yeah.
Wow. Why you put her last?
And my special lady friend. No, I didn't think how many beers did you have before we got there. Like I thought I only
Why?
half for one. Because you were like, oh, nobody else is here. And I was like, oh, well, they didn't. I thought that they weren't coming till now.
I wasn't complaining about it.
Okay, so now we've gone back to that he did say it.
I don't even know. I don't even know what he's talking about.
Somebody roll the tape.
Right.
I just want this moment to end. No, I don't.
So does everyone else.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm getting a little attacked, Aries. Why don't you? Oh, yeah. You don't save anybody anymore.
No.
How can I save you? I wasn't there.
That's what that's your fucking.
That was
problem.
the point of
That's the
contention.
fucking- yeah. And we were all. And Dynamo said that Aries is scared to come
No.
because he knows
Now
that you're
now
afraid
he's
of him.
telling the truth.
I don't have enough whiskey for this bullshit, so let's move on.
And where were you, for Christ's sake?
Thank you.
Busy.
We just
Oh.
asked that.
I texted him.
Well, I guess that's good enough for me.
It better
Just-
be.
Just by the way you said it, I can tell.
No.
He's got a nice shirt on too.
Dynamo's lying.
I'm telling the truth. I don't lie.
No, the whole time. That's why. That's the whole point of your little thing tonight. You're lying the whole time. That's how you. You're doing a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Who's next, Johnny?
No one's next.
No.
Oh, good. Thank God.
Maybe a topic, maybe.
Who's next? What are you talking about?
Now you're talking.
So, yeah,
Ledger says, my mother died in 88. Thanks for bringing it up, jerks. Wow.
Oh.
I bet we would have loved her, Ledger.
Yeah. Yeah.
She made you.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
No.
We have Mark Sheets. He says, hey, friends.
Thank you.
And Evil Corny says, what the hell? Y'all did intros already?
Wow.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
we go.
that was the earliest we've ever done it. And the fastest,
bridged.
too, I think.
And Cordy asks, Alicia, are you in Alabama?
It's called the internet, Cody.
People can log in from anywhere.
We're actually in New England.
It's true.
You mean you could be all the way in Alabama and talk to us?
Is that how people in Alabama sound? Did you
There
research
go,
that?
Monster Zero.
Did you write Puppet Master?
He did. Yeah. Wow. It's been a good show.
So we had a great time. So we got to hang out with Psycho Patrick, went out to eat. And then afterwards, we went to the Deadites 93 show. Mars, you want to tell people about the show if they are not aware of what it was?
So Ted, who is the owner of the Cove Music Hall, asked Tiny and I to do a set like how he first saw us in the 90s, which was as just Tiny and I. And initially, I said no. And I said no a few times that he asked me. And then I said, if you can, I was so positive that Tiny wouldn't want to do it. I said, if you can get Tiny to do it, because there's a lot of work that had to go into it. We had to get our gear back that we don't use anymore. We had to theoretically learn songs that we haven't, like there was 2 songs that we played that we hadn't played since 1993. We had to figure out a set list. It was just a lot of work that I felt like, well, we're building mazes and getting ready for the Halloween extravaganza we didn't have time for. But Tiny said yes, so we did it, and it was a very special night. What was nice about it is that and there was also like some promotion issues, and I was running against something that was very important to me, so I think it hurt both shows because I think both promoters kind of pumped their brakes a little bit. But it was also Scott Retrudi's birthday, and there was a Scott Retrudi tribute show, and everyone knows how incredibly important he is to me. So it wasn't our best draw, but a lot of people that were there got the opportunity to come up and talk to me, which isn't a novelty, but got to talk to Tiny, which is something that doesn't really happen, and told him how much their music, the music we've been making for a long time, meant to us. And I know it really touched me, and it really made me happy to see him so happy and get feedback, because normally us on the show or Matrix and I absorb that. Also, incredibly, as a surprise, one of our oldest friends who I met from being he was a fan of the Deadites, coming to Deadite shows, came 1,000 miles, did he say it was? From,
Yeah, 1,000.
yeah, from Arizona to see the show.
Yeah.
And if you think that he just came up to see us, he's been up 2 or 3 times since he left, and we haven't seen that motherfucker at one time. So he came up to see the show because it was important to him and Ted, who owns the club, that grew up together. I'm struggling, by the way, because before the show, Aries sneezed that sounded like he had got shot by a shotgun and was sneezing a shotgun. Then I got self-conscious and held the sneeze in, and it's got me all fucked up, and my eyes are watering now. And
You want a napkin?
no, I won't matter.
Are you crying?
Yeah, no, I am crying. I was crying after that show though, because it
You want to
did.
edit this?
It did no, because I'm not I'm a grown ass man. I'm not ashamed to cry. I know.
Can you play the sad Hulk music in the background?
I can play the disco Hulk music.
I know. I know the parameters under which I can whip somebody's ass, and I know.
What are those parameters? I'm curious.
If I get a shot in the throat first, I can grab somebody by the face. Otherwise, I'm fucked if it's a stand-up fight. If it goes to the ground, I got about a 40% chance that I'll do okay. But that's only if I can get behind somebody and choke the shit out of them. Otherwise, they're going to kick the crap out of me. But I'm secure in my manhood. I don't have any posturing or any toughness or whatever else. I've sucked some cocks.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
Shit happens.
When you say some, how many is some?
I'll talk to you about it. after.
37.
In a row?
You know, I've kissed some ladies. I've sucked some cocks. I've whipped some ass. I've cried before. It doesn't bother me.
And this all happened in one day.
That was a weird Easter.
It doesn't bother me one bit. Like I
Where's
don't. I have
15
no.
minutes of
I have no
applause?
shame. Yeah. But yeah, it was a very weird and emotional night because the Deadites back then it would be too maybe hard to explain, but the Deadites played differently back then. Like our set was set up differently. We didn't play a song. Like we recorded these songs, but we didn't play them through. Tiny was almost like DJing, like pulling the songs apart, and we could have played. We didn't know what we were gonna do. We just kind of had an order that we thought would be it, and we had our first 2 songs set. But we didn't know if we were gonna play 6 songs for 45 minutes, or 10 songs for 45 minutes, or 1 song for 45 minutes. We could have done it however. You know, so it was a really good night. It was really good. It was good to have a lot of people there. There was Deadites from right up to the current iteration to right up to the first full one, and it was awesome. It was a good time. And I know Raven Shadow was upset that we didn't do Tall, Dark, and Dead. It was definitely on the set list. But as I said, if I said Tall, Dark, and Dead, one person being Michael Raven Shadow would have went, yeah.
I would have.
When I did Aquaphobic, which for some reason people are often, from that era especially, wanting to hear me sing it because I don't sing it anymore.
It was cool to hear you sing it.
Like-
It's been a while.
Yeah, it got a pop. So I feel like I made the right choice. But Monster Zero's dance is a really good time. Wolfie, was a big help both, upstairs and behind the scenes, and it was fucking great. It was a good time.
It was a good show.
Yeah, I had a
Very
blast.
good show.
I thought it was very different. I enjoyed all the bands. I really liked. Now their names escaping me, but I really enjoyed the first band. I thought they were terrific. I'll look them up. And Mannequin. They were definitely like a
Cradle of Filth.
Nah, well, Cradle of Filth is a very particular kind of music which they weren't playing. They were like more of a straight ahead hard rock heavy metal band. And I could see that that guy definitely sort of did look like Mr. Filth, but I would say they were more like I felt like they were like what Marilyn Manson maybe was in Florida when he first got his start. You know what I mean? They were a little more raw. They were a little harder. His vocals were he had a really cool range. He's a much better singer than Manson. And they were real nice guys. So that was good, and there was a 9 Inch Nails cover band, which I know made a lot of people psyched. And it was just a real good time. So I know I speak for Tiny when I say thank you to everybody who came out. And thank you for just letting us know, because 25, 26 years, depending on who you ask, is a long time to do any given thing, and sometimes you do it in a vacuum, and you don't get to hear that it mattered. And the fact that one little error mattered to somebody enough to come out and see it from Arizona, it was a big deal for us. And we made some new fans because we did the unthinkable. Tiny actually told me not to before the show, which is funny. He fucking hates it. But we did the unthinkable and mentioned the merch booth. So,
And as soon as you did, someone came back.
And he fucking hates it. He does. Like, he told me not to do it. And I said,
but
I'm fucking doing it.
people don't know about
I
it
know.
unless you say something.
I know, but he's a fucking nut.
I was a bit taken aback by the fact that you said that. It's just
because
not
it's
just
literally
not part of your
He doesn't even like the term merchandise.
merch table. Yeah.
Why are we playing Vince Guaraldi?
See a picture of Hulk doing the whole.
It's been a while. I don't know. I just wanted to play it.
Wish Psycho Patrick was here.
I know, right?
That might have been one of my better.
I just wanted to throw it down.
And it helped because Psycho Patrick was there that day.
Yeah.
That might have been one of my best improvs.
Yeah.
And Psycho Patrick saying the Devil of the Sea like the old days, so that was fucking cool. And it's outrageous, and I hope the people that saw us and liked us and bought some gear, continue to check us out. So it was a good time, and I just am honored and very thankful that it could happen. It got me very recharged. And then I got in the Deadites chat this morning, and it literally knocked the wind out of my sails after being there for 5 minutes. So, it's it was good to be happy for a couple hours.
Enjoy those moments.
Yeah, well, normally it takes all the way till Wednesday now for me to get upset, but that was like quick. But yeah, so it was awesome, and I really appreciate it. It was great, and we're gonna do more cool stuff. And I appreciate. You know what I appreciate? Our social media is kind of doing really hot right now, so I like that. So thanks to everybody that's sharing things and liking things and moving things around. I know it's not anybody here. All right, most people are the Wolfie that's actually in the band. So thank you so much for. We're having videos and stuff that are hitting 300 or 400 people, and those are good numbers for us and posts and stuff. So.
And also, I'm finding out that I think Instagram is probably the best.
Oh, it's the best by a lot. That's why I always.
And it's the one that I use the least, just because it's more of a pain in the ass. I hate doing stuff on my phone. I'd rather sit in front of a computer and write stuff out. So.
In running that nonprofit this year, and I have if I post X here, money shows up there. Like it's a direct, you know what I mean? Like you don't really have that because we haven't put out anything or whatever else. I think Instagram is the best for a while. For me, it goes Instagram, Twitter, and then like Facebook is a distant third.
Yeah, because I
What
saw
about
I saw some.
MySpace?
Yeah. What about MySpace? Yeah, I saw the pictures the professional photographer took.
Yeah, made us look good.
Came out really great.
My favorite, though, I have to say, is one that Donna Matrix took. It's one I used for my thank you.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
The only thing I didn't like about it is my vest I've been wearing. I've lost so much weight it makes me look fat because if I button it, it stays open around me like a barrel. But yeah, it was pretty fucking. It's a pretty dope night. It's hard to articulate for me because I thought it was gonna be fucking terrible. Like I really didn't think I thought practices were fine, but even though practices were fine, I was like, why are people gonna like this? We have the best front woman on the planet. We have this incredible band. There's no crazy luchador banging on drums and dancing like a fucking maniac. Like, why are people gonna like this? But
because it was all about the music.
yeah, well, everybody's lineup is somebody's favorite lineup.
It was line up someone's first line.
It's true. That was someone's first Deadite show.
True.
That's for sure.
So at the end of the day, like I was telling the Tiny afterwards, my favorite lineup is not the lineup of the Damned. Like a lot of people, like most purists, we like that first four guys in the Damned is their best lineup. But like that lineup, Captain Sensible, who's one of the best guitar players ever, wasn't even playing guitar. So it was for me.
Well, first isn't always the best.
No, but I mean it's just one, and then then there's like
I think it was Megadeth's third lineup was their best.
yeah, it could be, it could be. So it's just funny, and Tiny and I got to talk about a lot of stuff that we haven't talked about like in a while because we're just too. The project has grown to the point where he's doing different, like we're doing different stuff, So it's nice to kind of get down to that and just do it,
Well, let me catch up in the chat room. There's been a lot of stuff going on. Evil Corny says, I thought there was another Alabama listener that called in a couple weeks ago. That's why he asked. FTM is hanging out. Says, evening, family.
There you go.
And Alicia says, no, Corny, I'm from Mass. Can't wait to see my boys and Kim at Rock and Shock. And Evil Corny says, Alicia, please rough up Wolfie for doing the intro so early this week for me when you see him.
Wow.
What the fuck, Corny? That's not nice.
It's not nice at all. You better come to the show.
Yeah, Corny, seriously.
Alicia,
David says, hey, all, thought I'd jump back in chat. Gotta say, I love the intros.
There you go, David. Thank you.
Ledger says, oh, for fuck's sake.
I agree, Ledger.
Oily says, brilliant. Corny says, FTM, what have you been up to?
Oh.
And Alicia says, can't rough up my boys. They're dear to me. I know I'm a sap.
Oh, see, there you go.
Probably not going to come see us play rock and roll, though.
Riku's hanging out. Says, evening, folks.
What's up, Riku?
And Alicia says, I'm sad I missed the show. I had a first date.
Should have
Bring
brought
your
'em.
date, yeah.
The Deadites, every era will get you laid. That's why
fair.
I don't get it. I don't understand it. But a lot of people have got fucked because of the Deadites. Not me.
In various ways, they've gotten fucked from the Deadites.
Well, no, the Deadites in various ways have gotten fucked. But we've, for some reason, something about Tiny's grooves get people's dicks hard and their pants off. So.
Whoa.
Whoa.
It looks like FTM went up to Winneconne, Wisconsin, one of my family's cottages on the lake.
Oh.
Sounds like a good time.
Did you see the Winneconne monster, Winky? Winky, the Winneconne monster.
Is that a Carvel cake or something?
No, it's as a professional monster hunter, I know where all the monsters are.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we'll start to wrap up the intro
I
here
literally
soonish.
can't see. Holding in that sneeze fucked me up like a car crash.
Why'd you hold it in?
Because I was self-conscious because that other sneeze was so big.
So big.
Yeah.
It makes my
Now, what
makes mine
were
look
you
so
self-conscious
small.
about? That someone would make fun of you that it wasn't as loud, or that
No, just that causing the sneeze had already caused such a ruckus. I didn't want to.
Well,
Are
it's
you
gonna be
allergic
like-
to sneezing?
No, my sneeze is actually pretty hardy. Not like that though. I would have said no one here sneezes as obnoxious as my sneeze, but you got me beat all day.
there was
long.
nothing obnoxious about my sneeze.
There's a lot of
But
obnoxious.
yeah.
No.
There was a lot. It was kind of being outrageous. Like,
Yeah.
No,
I think you were showing off a little bit.
Yeah, it was outrageous.
It was pretty. It was
showing
pretty
off.
outrageous.
Yeah.
How
You were showing off
You-
your sinus skills.
Thank you.
really?
Yeah, it's like a child
Yeah.
at a table, like who's like.
Because
told to-
because that's what I strive for, is to have the loudest sneeze amongst you gentlemen.
Well, you won.
Well, you won. Yeah. You won.
No contest.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not even going to try.
Yeah, you just pulled your shit out and was like, boom.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest. No measuring. There was no preamble. It was just, this is so loud.
And it
I
came
just-
out of nowhere, too,
Yeah.
man.
I watched a movie called No Contest this week, and it might be the best movie that I've watched this year.
Nice.
It has Shannon Tweed
Oh.
instead of Bruce Willis in like a Die Hard ripoff as she's hosting a beauty pageant. And the villains are, oh man, there's one other person, but the villains are Roddy Piper, Andrew Dice Clay. The other two people are somebody too, but I can't remember. And it is fucking awesome.
I may have seen that back in the day if it was on like rotation on cable.
I bet you it was. It was awesome.
Big Shannon Tweed.
Andrew Dice Clay had a fucking awesome wig on at one point.
Nice.
The fact that it tricked even movie people is amazing. Like the fact that somebody read a script and said, "You are fooled by this wig,"
Yep.
and they were like, is just an insult to.
What was it undercover? Like.
Yeah, he was busting into the beauty pageant. Like everybody knew who fake Andrew Dice Clay was.
What's the name of the movie?
It's called No Contest.
Kind of like Val Kilmer.
Oh, you know who else is in it? What's his name? He's in a lot of action movies. Got bad skin.
What?
Edward James Olmos?
No. Is like the made for TV Edward James almost.
Like the bad guy.
He's a
always the
Maniac
bad guy.
Cop.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Not Zadar.
No.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's not Cesaro, is it?
No, he has different skin problems.
Aries is pissed. He's gonna sneeze again.
Yeah, why don't you
Get
like
back in
Zadar? Imagine if Aries now had a big Zadar chin under
He
that
probably
band.
does. We would never know it. Aries, have you ever seen Zadar's chin?
His chin?
Yeah.
His chin is the stuff of legends. It puts Bruce Campbell and Jay Leno to fucking shame.
You've seen him. He's the,
Oh, is he from
Tango and Cash?
Tango and Cash?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he looks like
Yeah.
he looks like a New York character of.
You broke that jaw? I was mad.
Can you see that?
I see that. Yeah.
He's got like a catcher's mitt.
Does he
Oh, is
sell
that
his-
all you got?
Yeah, see? See? He's sneeze shaming you.
Achoo.
I got the sniffles.
Oh, there it is
Oh,
again.
it's so adorable. Oh, it's so cute.
It's so gross.
Oh, my
Jesus
God.
Christ.
Give him a fucking napkin.
Somebody put a Zadar over
Is there a
his
fucking
face.
symbiote in your nose? Like a fucking Tom Hardy coming out of there.
I will tell you,
Rob
you
is
got me
the
beat on
dark.
on the ugly face before and after.
Jesus Christ.
Well, listen, you sneeze, your body has different contortions.
Contortion.
Yeah, but we don't need to see what's on the inside.
Speaking of Venom, I would like to thank MC 900 Foot Ronsky and MC 10,000 Foot Ronsky for bringing me an awesome Comic Book Expo Venom lunchbox.
Should have bought you a bunch of Kleenex or something.
No, they didn't, because I didn't have to sneeze until I got here. So I went for that.
Oh, it's a natural body movement.
Andrew Dice
allergic to
Clay,
you.
Roddy Piper, Nicholas Campbell, John Colicos. Wow. This is quite the
It's a fucking
the
cast, right? Yeah.
yeah. Jesus. Shannon Tweed.
All right, let's start to wrap things up here because we're gonna talk about a
Robert
movie.
D. Yeah.
I can't breathe.
You can't breathe?
Thank God.
Good.
Stop the bleeding.
Stop the breathing.
Stop the bleeding.
All right, so if you guys want to help support the show, there's a number of ways you can do so. Head on over to trickortreatradio.com. On the right-hand side, scroll down, you're going to see an Amazon link. Click on it. Bring you right to Amazon. It's going to put in our affiliate link. Everything you purchase in that session gets attributed to us. Doesn't cost them any extra, Raven Shadow.
But it helps keep the lights on.
And we also have an Amazon store. If you head on over to amazon.com/shop/the Deadites, you'll find it there. Everything you purchase in our store gives us that cut already. It's already tied in. So you don't have to worry about it. Jesus Christ, Morris.
Yeah.
You know what? I get it all out at one shot, and I'm done.
That's what she said.
That's what it was.
We're infected.
And if you guys want to, we also have a store on trickortreatradio.com. Just navigate to the site, click on store, and then there you're going to find some digital content. We got the greatest hits volumes 1 through 3. Go ahead and buy them up. They're cheap. And then Dynamo's sneezing. And then we also have... Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
His pants are
What the fuck is coming out of his face? It's like
It's like the Incredible Melting Man over there.
Oh, that's so
See what you
weird.
How is this my fault?
because you sneeze shamed him.
I'm dying.
I didn't sneeze shame him.
He held back.
You did sneeze shame him a little bit, but that's
Sneeze
not why
shame.
he's doing that.
Nice.
I only did it after he brought it up.
Oh boy. David wants to know what the name of the Shannon Tweed movie is.
No
Did anyone
contest.
catch?
No contest.
No contest. Okay.
That's the one that he's talking about, Sneezy. Yeah, no contest.
No contest for old men.
Yep, with Robert Davey, Andrew Dice Clay, Roddy Piper, Nicholas Campbell. I mean, it's got a hell of a cast.
What's the movie with Dice Clay and Bone Crusher with the chick
Oh,
from
yeah.
Lois and Clark?
Yeah, Bone Crusher and damn it, what's her name? I forget.
What's Lois and Clark? Terry Hatcher.
Terry Hatcher? That's
Yeah.
it. And also Adventures of Fort Fairlane with Priscilla Presley.
I love Fort Fairlane. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, you're the one.
You love it too, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I saw it on the drive with my parents. It was excellent. Actually, I saw a Doc Man in Fort Fairlane in a fucking drive-in.
At the same showing.
I'm almost positive. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
almost
have been right?
positive.
Well, I was a child. I think so. I mean, I was in the back of my dad's. My dad had his Camaro at that time, and it was excellent. And
I was a kid, high, and I just.
yeah, no.
This is before your dad could find porn on the internet by accident.
Yeah, no, it's fair. It's fair. But yeah, I think I did. It was Dockman and Fort Failing back to back, and my parents didn't enjoy
Nice
any
double
of it.
bill.
Yeah,
Damn.
I was in pajamas.
All right, so once again, that store, you can buy digital content. We have some premium content. We got buttons. We got T-shirts. We got some other stuff, so give it a look. And if you want to donate, on the front page of trickortreatradio.com, there's a PayPal donate button. Just click on it and give us any denomination. We'll appreciate anything you want to give, and it'll go towards hosting fees for the podcast, for the website, for everything. And there's some. We got to find a way to raise money. I think we got to do the Patreon. I think we're going to take the fucking plunge. Or something, because
The sneeze-a-thon.
the sneeze-a-thon, yeah. How many times can Dynamo sneeze in 24 hours? You get $5 each time.
Ooh.
We need a new computer here in the studio. This one's definitely on its last legs. So we'll think of something. I think we should probably get the Patreon up and running finally, though, because that's probably our best bet. So if you guys think that would be something you'd be willing to contribute to, let us know, and maybe that'll help us make the decision.
And there goes everybody.
What, everyone tunes out?
Everybody just left.
Just go fuck yourselves, guys.
All right, so we're going to talk about Puppet Master, the Littlest Reich, in just a few moments. But before we do, Raven Shadow's going to let us know how he prepared to watch this movie.
Ooh, I get excited, Johnny. I kind of take a stroll down memory lane because I've been going through some boxes of stuff from my parents' house, and I've been unwrapping old toys that I had as a kid. You know, I mean, they weren't crazy Nazi dolls, but my old-fashioned Secret Wars Falcon action figure I opened up. You know, I had that. My Martian Manhunter Superpowers figure. My Thundercats Lion-O. My He-Man Fisto action figure. You know, so I'm really memory lane. Then I realized I'm a 41-year-old man. You know, I don't have time for these old toys. So I opened up my new Marvel Legends and DC Direct figures because they're brand new. Set those up on my shelf. Took a step back and strapped on.
Do you love a scary story? Do you love to dance? The Big Scary Monster Hunts at Midnight is a collection of dark songs about sex, love, death, revenge, and the end of the world. Brought to you by the world's greatest monster hunting electroshock band, the Deadites.
This is Matt Kennedy of Astron 6. You might know me as Manborg. You might know me as Father John Sullivan in Father's Day. But what's important right now is that you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Jason Voorhees. You want to keep up to date with the world's greatest monster hunting, electroshock, world-saving superheroes there are? Well, me, I could care less for those sons of a bitches. But if you want to, go to Twitter, @TheDeadites. For Michael Ravenshadow, that's the A in the half parentheses. @TheDeadites. Keep up to date with tour dates. Sorry. Upcoming shows. Oh, my goodness. New releases. Hot dates. All right, anyway, I'm sorry. The Deadites on Twitter. Follow everything about the Deadites and Trick or Treat Radio, which admittedly is not a whole hell of a lot.
I can tell you I'm never coming back on this show. Especially now that I did that thing that you just made me do. Which I will be sending you an invoice for.
we're back on Trick or Treat Radio. Alicia asked Slagoth if he was going to be coming to Rock and Shock this year, and he says, I will not be able to attend. I wish I could. Alicia says, Raven Shadow, who's not here, I bought a He-Man lunchbox at Terrificon this past weekend.
Yes, I saw that.
And Matchel of Omaha is hanging out, and he says,
Jealous.
Raven Shadow needs to post some pics of those vintage toys. I agree, you should. He'll never figure out how to do it, though.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I have to buy a camera, get some film.
So,
Will somebody load the film for me?
so we're going to talk about... He walked in. Raven Shadow, Matchel of Omaha was saying that you need to post some pictures of those vintage toys. Oh, yeah, man, okay, if you figure it out, go for it.
Johnny, will you help me take some pictures? No, it'll be if we do the Trick or Treat Radio cribs. You're gonna see all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, that actually, yeah. If we do the Patreon, we were thinking about doing a cribs where you could actually get a tour of the Raven Chateau. So if anyone's interested in that, let us know.
Yeah, there'll be there's 3 stops on the tour. One's gonna be my comic office art room, the sexy speakeasy, and my tricked out bar downstairs.
What about your bedroom?
Well, it depends how much you donate. you gotta kick in. Sheets don't buy themselves.
I would give people the tour. I'm pretty proud of my action figure collection.
You have an amazing setup downstairs.
And I don't have action figures. I don't know what you would call them. Masterpieces, I guess you would call them.
You got a fucking action figure right there, motherfucker.
I do.
And you have one right fucking there. Oh, it's a doll.
Well, these aren't really action figures.
Yes, no,
Are
that
they?
is actually
That's
an
What are
action
they?
figure.
No, I suppose you're right. I suppose not this, but more this.
And Slegoth says, but I will be heading up to Connecticut in January with my son to my brother's place, maybe where there could be some sort of meetup, because that would be awesome.
Ooh.
Yeah, keep us in the loop there, Slegoth.
Yeah.
Matchel of Omaha says, bring on the tour.
Nice. See? That's
Speaking of Matchel, I know he'd be down because he keeps fucking donating money to us on PayPal.
He's so awesome.
He just gave us more. So
What?
Dude,
Yep.
come up to fucking New England in
Dude.
October, dude. Stay at my house. It'll be fucking excellent.
So thank you very much, Matchel of Omaha. And apparently he's speaking with his money. I think he would probably contribute to a Patreon. He gives us money every month, basically. So
Jeez.
thank you very much, man. We appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Thank you very much.
And Slegoth says Castle or Raven Chateau is fucking awesome. Please do a Patreon.
Nice. Always got a place to stay, buddy.
All right, so we're going to talk about the latest installment on the Puppet Master series, or the first installment of a new series.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I didn't have.
It takes place in an alternate timeline. Is kind of what they said. So
Now, where'd you hear that from?
that's what Cinestate says.
And there was also talk of today. Band is still doing more Puppet
Yeah,
Master sequels.
there's
I don't
another
know
one
anything
that
to do with
that's coming out soon.
But was this not endorsed? I mean, was it?
No, he was
Like, I
a
don't
producer.
know.
He was
Yeah.
an executive producer. on
Well,
it.
that's why I'm confused. Like, is it so?
It's
just two different-
divergent timelines, I guess.
like the new J.J. Abrams Star Trek.
Yeah,
Sure.
but I mean,
Skewed
Toulon.
off this tangent to make an
I could be
alternate
wrong,
Puppet
but-
Master series.
Toulon wasn't a. Didn't he fight Nazis in the?
What was Toulon's Revenge?
So Toulon
Toulon's
definitely
was
has a
part
different.
3.
He definitely has a different arc in this
Okay. Toulon Stooge.
compared to what he had in the original
Right, because
series.
I felt like I could be wrong. I could be
he was a
misremembering,
good guy in the
Yeah.
original series.
Okay.
because it was never him. That it was people that were trying to harness Toulon's arts to that were. The,
Yeah, he was the doll maker.
With Ileana Douglas, no less.
Oh.
All right, so let me get the stats out, and then we'll discuss. So, Puppet Master: The Littlest Reich is not rated. It is 90 minutes horror film from 2018, and it just got a release on VOD this past Friday, which was the 17th of August. So, it is available. It is out there if you guys want to check it out. If you have not done so yet, it is directed by Sonny Laguna and Tommy Wickland, and is written by S. Craig Zahler, based on characters from Charles Band. And it stars Thomas Lennon, Michael Pare, Charlene Yee, Udo Kier, Barbara Crampton, Nelson Franklin, Jenny Pellicer, or Pellicer, I think it's Pellicer, Matthias Hughes, Tina Parker, Kennedy Summers, Betsy Holt, and Victoria Hand.
And many, many more.
Many, many more. And the synopsis: all hell breaks loose when a strange force animates the puppets up for auction at a convention, setting them on a bloody killing spree that's motivated by an evil as old as time. So, and this film was produced by the folks over at Cinestate, who now own Fangoria, so it was presented by Fangoria. And also, just for the record, Charles Band was an executive producer, and he was the creator of Puppet Master. So he was in on this. Before we jump in, one other thing that was interesting, score by Fabio Frizzi.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which was fucking awesome, right?
Yeah. It's a nice touch.
I mean, there was some talent in this movie, right?
It was great too.
Yes, definitely there was some well-known talent in this movie. And so just to... I'm not familiar with the directors. Like, I don't think I've seen any of their films, but Sonny Laguna and Tommy Wickland did films entitled Animalistic, Wither, and Blood Runs Cold. Now, Wither, the cover looks familiar. I haven't seen it, but the poster looks familiar. I remember seeing it maybe on Netflix or something like that. So I don't really know much about their filmography, but they definitely have some films under their belt. And as I mentioned, it was written by S. Craig Zahler, who was the writer and director of Bone Tomahawk and Brawl and Cell Block 99, which we loved both. Mm-hmm. So yes, you're right. This movie has quite a pedigree coming in. Like, it's got all the pieces in place to make a great movie.
Yeah.
Do they achieve that? I mean, we'll get to the bottom of that, but it has a lot of the pieces right in place, and it's cool to see. Like, this is kind of an interesting property because Puppet Master, I mean, they've been decent. I mean, but it's clearly Full Moon was B movie. Like,
but I loved Full Moon as a kid. I mean,
oh yeah. I mean, it doesn't mean you can't love it, but it is definitely B movie.
Oh right.
Oh sure.
It's fucking evil, bad dolls doing bad things.
Right. So they're taking sort of that, that I think that this film was in the spirit of the original, in terms of kind of making it a bit of a B movie,
Yeah.
It
was definitely.
Yeah.
I do feel like in every quantifiable way,
It was like an homage to, from an homage to a parody of itself. Really,
this was more how I remember Puppet Master being before I watched it a few months ago and realized that it was considerably more reserved compared to this. It was a little more. I knew it was a little more raucous and a little more raunchy. I guess, but it was, I remember it being the original Puppet Master. Before I went back and watched it a few years ago, being more violent than it actually was,
I would agree 110%. I think I'd say I haven't watched the Puppet Master movie since I was maybe either 15 or younger. I want to say younger probably. But putting this on, it reminded me of my memory of Puppet Master, almost like the way some of the Garth Ennis Punisher stuff reminded me of how the Punisher was in my memory. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
From the straight up, just the early Marvel Comics stuff to it's how your memory of that original thing is.
I mean, some things don't. The best adaptions are always like that. Like, I think the reason Lord of the Rings were so good, like if they actually made that like those books were, that shit's boring. Nobody wants to see that fucking movie. Sin City is one of the few things that I feel that does it and does it just like it. But I've been watching for the last 5 days the 9.5 hour cut of Watchmen or however long it is, and that's spot on. That is spot on, but that's not that good of a movie. It doesn't work. It doesn't work 100%. It's not.
I love Watchmen.
Yeah, well, I don't think it works as a movie because the comic is about comics, and you can't make a movie about comics in the same way. And they didn't. They leaned into the politics, which wasn't incidental, but the movie was about the book was about comics, right. And you can't really do that about movies. So I feel like it looked good. It was good, but I don't feel like it didn't work 100%. Like tonally. It's just too nihilistic. It's not enjoyable. It's certainly not enjoyable. It's like, I might have enjoyed it when I was 14 years old because I liked nihilistic things. But I haven't. I'm interested to see what everybody else thinks about this movie because I have a very distinct take on it.
Well, since we were talking about it, I wanted to mention that the original Puppet Master came out in 1989.
Right.
And it's interesting. They basically did a sequel a year for the next several years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
And the first one's Puppet Master, all one word, and then all the subsequent ones were Puppet, space Master, 2 words. So I don't know if there's. I just found that kind of interesting.
Well, hell, Texas Chainsaw Massacre did it. Why not Puppet Master?
I mean, it's a cool idea, right? Like the overall story of Puppet Master is a neat idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's I don't know exactly in terms of the history of horror I would imagine that Child's Play had come out, right?
That was 88, I believe.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I have a feeling that this may have been a follow up to that. Like the idea may have spurned from, like, oh, we got a killer doll. Well, let's make a bunch of puppets because, and the great thing is they're all fucking awesome.
Right.
Like, they're
The designs,
like
right.
the
Oh, yeah.
designs and the way they looked. I mean, it's a really great idea. I think
And while I think you're right, that was definitely probably a financial boon for it. Charles Band religiously kind of had a hard on for small things and dolls, like all along. Like if you go back and watch the Empire stuff before Puppet Master, I suspect you'll find your fair share of small creatures there.
Well, this was around the time. Yeah, I mean, this was around the time when all the small little. I mean, it was starting to make critters, ghoulies, gremlins, or at least Gremlins 2 anyway. Dolls, Stuart Gordon's dolls.
Well, that was a few years before this.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm saying it was only maybe 3 years before. I think dolls came out in '86.
So there's a confluence of
So,
events of
yeah.
things were going on, and that's.
But
sort
I
of
think that was
the
Empire
natural.
too. I think Charles Band produced dolls. I could be wrong, but
No, you're right. I think you're right.
so I think that was an Empire Pictures to again show that he, this was. Him having like a movie about a doll being successful and being able to use it to make more doll movies is like, like some sort of esoteric goth club electronica coming back in style. Like I would be excited that I might actually be able to sell some records.
And if you go to Best Buy, you could get the DVD of all 10 films in one package for like $5.
10 films?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, you go all the way from Leech Woman all the way to Decapitron, and it's amazing.
But I'm not going to buy a DVD. What do you think? I am a fucking animal?
I know. Live in the now, Blu-ray.
Our boy David says, "I thought it was a better start than the first Puppet Master, in my opinion." All right,
Sure.
Yeah.
good take. And Slegoth says, in the words of Jeremy McFarlane, I think Watchmen Ultimate Cut is a masterpiece. And we also got,
Those guys love testosterone nihilistic things. They love it.
we also have soon to be Tim from Canada. We got Tim from Korea.
Nice.
He says, evening. He says, Puppet Master versus Black Devil Doll from Hell.
Oh shit.
How would that be, MZ?
Hell yeah.
You weren't listening, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Hell yeah! Puppet Master versus Black Devil Doll from Hell.
Puppet Master versus Black Devil Doll from Hell.
What do you think of that?
I think Black Devil Doll will be kind of outmatched.
Well, versus all of them, yeah.
Yeah, because they travel in packs. They don't go solo at all.
All right, so let's dive into this a little bit more here, guys. So, obviously, we have Thomas Lennon starring in this. Thomas Lennon
Great to see him.
from endless amounts of, Reno 911,
The
from
State.
Viva Variety, The
It's
State.
a toast to jetpack to.
Yeah, you could name a million things he's been in. And it was interesting seeing him in a pseudo-serious role.
Totally, and I didn't know that he was in it, and it was maybe I.
Well, you watched it, didn't you?
Well, no, I did, but I didn't necessarily know that was his real name. But when he came on screen, I'm like, is that the fucking dude from The State? And
Yep.
and yeah, it was fucking awesome. He was great.
And in the movie, he was a comic book artist / writer. Did you both?
Well, I think he was aspiring. He worked in a comic shop.
No, he put
Well,
out-
he did
put
have
out
a-
a
he
book,
did have
yeah.
a-
Yeah, but he put a book out. I mean, I don't know if that it's still awesome, but like it's
Yeah.
not like he's not Brian Michael Bendis. You know
No,
what I mean?
and he was also I don't know if he was the owner or part owner.
No,
of
the other guy was the owner because I kept making nods that he's his boss.
My store, yeah, okay. So he basically ran a comic book store with his buddy.
He's recently.
That sounds familiar.
He's recently divorced.
Yeah. We're going. Come on. Go ahead. Keep naming.
Let's really bring it out there. And
He's going to stay with his parents help them out for a little bit, right?
And apparently he had a negative childhood with his father.
Yeah. Oh, is that too close to home, Raven
And
Channel?
his room is set up just like it was when he left.
With all his action figures.
Action figures and toys. This sucks.
Actually, you didn't get to see his room, I don't think, which was weird.
You're right. It was the brother's
Yeah, he
room.
kept
You're
going
right.
into his brother's room.
Yeah.
Which I wonder, it's always weird in movies how like they'll always like when like even though they'll do it like Superman, he comes home and it's all like the baseball trophies and it's like you must have become a teenager. You must have put some of that stuff away. But yes, you're right. His brother had an accident when he was young, so he was in his brother's room.
So basically, what sort of the plot here, a loose plot. I'm not going to say too much, but there's going to be an auction to sort of sell off these Toulon, puppets, and so it's kind of like a convention / auction.
The 30th anniversary of a killing, of a finding
of
a crime
Toulon.
scene.
It's the 30th anniversary of Toulon.
Toulon's death.
And his death, yes.
Yeah.
So
And we have Barbara Crampton's character. She does like a tour of the facility and kind of recounts the story of how he was captured. Basically like, and then there's people. I thought that was a pretty funny scene because there's some people like you could see that one guy, that like internet troll who was going to raise his hand to be like, oh well, I thought it was this, and she like, shut him down right away and like answered the question before he even had a chance to ask, which I thought was kind of funny. And so just going around and so she played Carol Dureski, a police officer, and so I thought that was kind of cool. They're showing kind of what happened and talking about the raid on Toulon's place, and so now everyone's bringing their dolls. So like all the dolls or puppets, if you will, are in one central location.
Right, it's supposed
in
to be
this hotel.
60 all over the world, but they're expecting at least like 40 being brought in.
Yeah. So
can we watch it, Johnny?
Yeah, I can put it on. So as everyone shows up, obviously, they start coming to life, and puppet mayhem ensues, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let me put it on here in studio to appease Raven Shadow.
Thank you, Johnny.
See, I'm not always a bully.
No, you've been really doing better.
What?
You've been doing better. I think those classes are helping.
Glasses?
Classes.
What classes?
Yeah, maybe.
You think I have time for fucking classes?
Anti-bully classes.
All right. Oh, I got to turn the volume down. All right, so here we go. We're watching it in studio here, Raven Shadow.
Thank you.
I'm going to fast forward a little
Udo
bit.
Kier.
Yeah, so Udo Kier plays Toulon.
Yeah.
Which, perfect casting, right?
Oh, it's fucking great.
Oh, sure.
And at the beginning, we have...
Guy Rolfe, who played the original Andre Toulon, was really quite good. To me, there's no other Toulon but Guy Rolfe.
But if you're going to get someone...
Oh, sure.
Udo Kier's a
Udo Kier is the man to get.
Especially if you're going to make him evil.
Right, exactly.
He does play evil quite well.
David says the reviews on Puppet Master 10 movie DVD is that most of movies in set don't play. I personally bought the first 3 on DVD and the second one did not play. I rebought on Blu-ray and no problem. That's probably a Charles Band thing. I want you to get the Blu-ray. All right, so that's kind of like the basic plot here. What's going on now? We have Thomas Lennon's character of Edgar, and then his best buddy Markowitz, and they go to the convention, and then they bring.
And that's not Markowitz, by the way.
Yeah,
and they bring Edgar's new
nude girlfriend now.
Nude girlfriend. Is that she was? Was that Ashley?
Ashley,
who I am in love with, by the way.
Because of her haircut.
Yeah, in her night. I like her nose too. I like that type of nose.
She totally.
I like that type of nose.
No.
What the fuck?
What the hell does that mean?
I like that type of nose.
I know.
Better to sneeze, baby.
Baby, sneeze me again. I got some tissues.
Sneeze all over me.
She must sneeze really well with a nose like that.
Give me a sneeze job. I'm into some weird shit, baby.
The sneeze job.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Sneeze tugs. I like the choker too. That's not the choker that she's wearing.
What?
She's wearing a choker.
You're a violent
she's
bastard.
wearing a choker. Wearing the neck thing.
All right, so you know what? Also, I found a little fact was interesting is that this is not Barbara Crampton's first appearance in a Puppet Master movie. She also played Woman at Carnival in the first Puppet Master.
Interesting.
Ah.
So I don't recall if I assume that wasn't a big role if she didn't have a name,
No.
but I thought that was kind of interesting that she was in the first one.
Huh.
So the big thing here. So like I said, this is, from what I understand, an alternate timeline. This is a new sort of Puppet Master series. It doesn't build on any of the mythology of the ones that came before it. I guess it rewards you if you've seen those, but it doesn't require you to have seen them.
Oh man.
But this is sort of a different timeline, and in this timeline, Andre Toulon, how did Barbara Crampton say it?
Oh yeah.
Toulon.
Toyon.
But anyways, he is a villain in this one, whereas in previous ones he was just sort of like the puppet maker, like
Geppetto.
yeah. And I don't think he necessarily had any nefarious plans or anything like that. So there's definitely a little bit of a difference here in terms of, and that's not a spoiler. We find that out pretty much right at the beginning. So I thought that it was interesting to sort of make that little twist, which in terms of this movie and what it's called, The Littlest Reich, I guess it kind of makes sense, right?
Right.
Being that Toulon was originally from Germany, and you know, I guess that makes sense. We also had, by the way, Dynamo. We had a couple cameos here. David Starr and Trevor Lee, the Carolina Caveman,
Yeah, it was nice.
which was pretty funny. So it was the indie wrestlers. They were then the guy was watching wrestling on TV.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah.
There were
He was
two
watching,
like
I think he's watching the CWA there or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
The
yeah, it's that
one
southern-
Cookie likes,
yeah, which I thought was pretty funny because those are two of the biggest. Well, I don't know if you'd call Trevor Lee indie. Is Impact?
Well, I mean,
Would you consider Impact indie or above?
I don't know what I would consider it, but I mean, he definitely still works the Indies. He works.
He
for
does,
Fed.
yeah.
He would definitely be in Bola this year if there wasn't a big
True.
TNA show running against it.
And David Starr was probably one of the most well-known up-and-coming indie stars in the last year or so, right?
I don't know too much about him. I know there is a him.
Well, I mean, he was all over WrestleMania weekend. Regardless, I mean, this isn't the point of the movie, but I just wanted to talk about it. I thought it was cool that they had showcased a couple of awesome indie wrestlers. So, all right, so we have some puppet mayhem as we talked about, where everyone's in the hotel, and then puppets start coming out of their boxes and going nuts.
Yep.
Did anyone have like a favorite death or something that they wanted to call out?
The deaths in this movie is so goddamn ridiculous.
In a good way?
I waver back and forth on how good the deaths in this movie were.
There was a particular death where I saw like the start of it where I'm like, they're not gonna fucking go here, are they?
Oh, the baby death.
And yeah.
That was pretty fucking hardcore.
That was good. That I did like.
I don't like grimace at gore. That got me close.
Really?
To like, ooh, that may be a little too far.
Really?
Well, I'm not.
What the fuck's wrong with you? I watched
The
that
puppet
during
went
breakfast.
inside through her vagina, basically.
Yeah.
Into her stomach, grabbed the baby
Yeah.
in like a chokehold,
Yeah.
pulled it out of the stomach.
Okay. So far so good. I still don't see what the problem is. Sounds like a
You don't see what
perfectly
the problem is,
sounds
yeah.
like
I
a
don't think that-
perfectly regular B movie grade death to me. As far
I
as
didn't
I'm
get
concerned.
the impression that he went in through the yaya though. I thought he came up from under the bed, but
No, because he had the
Well,
he had
because
the
they
cam.
showed the
He had
panty.
they showed him.
the panty
Oh,
cam.
yeah.
He
Yeah.
went straight for.
Panty cam.
the panty cam.
Panty cam.
I'm having a hard time here, Wolfie. So can I lay my cards on the table?
Sure.
Just don't sneeze on him.
Was this movie dumb? Yes.
Yes,
Slightly.
absolutely.
Was this movie? Did this movie have a couple of things that it didn't offend me per se, but I just didn't think it was funny. just like I might have thought it was funny in 1982 when I was 5, but specifically one character, I just didn't. I thought he was cool, like he was likable, but I didn't think it, I didn't like the
Which
portrayal.
character?
The
cop?
No. I love the cop.
Me too.
But and I love Michael Pare cop too. But
You're talking about Markowitz, the friend?
no, I thought he was fine too.
Oh, okay.
The African American character.
Skeeta Jenkins, who
Skeeter
played
Jenkins.
Cuddly Bear.
Cuddly Bear.
Yeah, I didn't dig on Cuddly Bear too much, but I get it.
But this was, as we know, kind of a throwback.
yeah, I get it.
Complete with
I wasn't offended that it was
stereotypes.
there, and I thought it was fine that it was there. I got why it was there. I just didn't think it was funny. Like I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. I'm not making a stance. I just didn't. I think fucking 11-year-old me would have thought it was fucking hilarious. 43-year-old me just thought it was this joke's not for me.
I'm right on board with you on this. This movie is not that good.
Well, no, you're not on board with me at all.
No, I'm on your side.
Because I thought this movie was fucking terrific.
Really?
I loved it. I think that it's. I think a lot of people, especially now, think movies have to like sell you something or tell you something or teach you something. Just like sometimes I enjoy a spot fest in wrestling without that much of a story, or sometimes I enjoy a dumb punk pop song. Like this was like the movie equivalent of a punk pop song.
Yeah, but
I was here for the gore.
Hey, you know, I could be there for the gore too, but you know what? It can't just be gore. You know, I mean, this
Says the guy.
no.
This is the guy who loves fucking gory movies.
Oh, I do, but I just feel there's got to be some substance to it. I just don't feel.
Is there substance to
Don't
butt crack?
sneeze. Is he gonna sneeze? What?
Is
What
there
he said.
substance to butt crack?
No, but that's a stupid. That's a stupid movie.
What is this?
Yes.
And there's hardly any gore in it at all.
So what's redeeming about that then?
Well,
The fact that you got a fat guy walking around with half his ass hanging out of his pants, coming back to life.
Wait, what movie's that? Oh, Buckrat. Okay.
Correct.
But what
We'll
would you
just
have
follow
added?
either one of you around.
But what would you have added to this movie to make it have more? Like it's just was. It had as much plot as Night of the Living Dead.
It should have had more sodomy.
It had as much plot as Assault on Precinct 13.
I'm with you as far as the idea of saying, 17-year-old me probably would have loved this film. 47.
What I said.
No, that is what you said.
No, I said. I said.
I know. 43. I know.
No,
semantics.
that's not what I said. I was talking about that one character.
Well, I'm talking about this one movie.
So you're not saying the same thing as me.
All right, so what the fuck? Get off my back, Sneezy.
You just said I agree with you, and I said I
Jesus
didn't.
Will you stop Ariesing me, for Christ's sake? Jesus Christ. That. Here, play with this.
That's not Aries.
Here, play with this. Don't sneeze on it.
Have you been on the show before?
I just gotta put down his pants. Get it. Get it. I wanted to wait. Let me show it to people before it puts down his pants.
Oh, he has those big hands, too. Look at that.
No.
Wow.
Let me see.
It's a swivel arm grip.
All right. So MZ brought in his pinhead figure,
His Japanese pinhead variant.
and
there
his
we
head
go.
pops up.
No, me, I just think I just feel that, 30 years ago I would have enjoyed this film. Taste mature and things like that. I just didn't think that this movie the story is great. I just don't think the execution is all that good.
I thought the gore was
I think-
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gore is good.
I thought the
gore
four
was
was.
okay.
I thought the gore was at times Brian Pauling good, and that's like a very big compliment.
I was thinking that, too. I'll tell you right now, I had more fun with this movie than I thought it was going to be. And I liked it a lot more than I should.
Not to mention my own personal my own
9/11.
personal no please no my own personal take on watching this film, because apparently all you guys had nice smooth liquid.
I think your fucking internet, dude.
Yeah.
When you
Liquid-
order VOD and it doesn't work, it's not.
It's not
the
VOD's
internet.
fault.
Yeah.
It's the internet.
Well, I don't care whose fault it is. The point is that I didn't
Looks
watch
fine
it.
here, right?
But that's
Exactly,
not
it
the
looks
fucking
good.
movie's fault.
I didn't. Will you shut up? I didn't say it was the.
First of
movie's
all, you
fault.
interrupted me, you dumb asshole. I was saying something, and you're like, I agree with you 100%.
Don't break the table.
You interrupted me. And then
Don't
you're
break
mad
your
that I'm
head.
trying to make, and then you're interrupting me. You said, I agree with you. You said something totally fucking different than I said, and then never let me finish what I was going to say, and then got mad because you got interrupted. You fucking big chimpanzee.
From chimpanzee to chimpanzee to chimpanzee.
Yeah. My fucking God. All right,
all
just keep going.
All I'm saying about my personal way that
Jesus.
what
Personal Jesus.
look and this is just terrible.
Come
I mean,
on, this
the-
is a Nazi
it's-
thing just burned everybody.
That was fucking
no,
awesome.
no, Torch is no. Look, the highlight of this movie are definitely the puppets. There is no denying
That puppet looks fucking awesome.
Torch is awesome. Torch was always awesome from part 2 on. Always loved Torch.
So what's the matter?
Torch has kind of a new
I love
meaning in this.
I love
movie.
his.
A new
I love
job.
his new look. He's got the bullet teeth and everything going
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
I mean, he's got a really great look.
Yeah, I love him.
You know.
Nice.
Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, Aries, we got some surprise boobs here.
Second pair of the night.
And
Aries must have loved this movie.
No, those aren't boobs.
Oh god
No.
damn.
Aries, you're pure.
Put your fucking hand down.
Mars went for a high five, and Aries
I
fucking.
hate him. I hate him.
What about women who like the way they look and feel and give them more confidence?
I love them all.
I love him.
That's their
Then that's bad.
that's their prerogative. Like there might be women that like long flowing locks, and that's not my thing. You know. Like,
Look, I mean,
There
I
are some that
look,
do.
I
Ladies, whatever your choice is,
I've
is the right
felt-
choice. Okay, whatever your choice is the right choice.
I've felt fake boobs before, and they
I'm amazed.
yeah, the
by
mannequin has a fucking nostrils.
fuck you, you dick.
Sir, come with us. I'll be right there.
and he was never
so what's
allowed
your
to
name?
mod again.
No, getting back to the way this movie looked. No, it was just my personal experience where I had this really bad shutter speed thing going on, and it kind of really ruined my experience with the film. But
So
also,
when something
this,
like that
also it was, but also,
I was
the-
talking. You.
what?
I was in the middle of a statement, and you cut me off 8 minutes ago.
All right, go ahead.
I don't even remember what I was saying, but here's what I will fucking say. If I can't watch a movie properly, if the sound is wrong or something's broken, I don't fucking talk about it for 20 minutes because I can't fairly review it. But you're fucking chattering on like a fucking drunk monkey, admitting that you weren't really able to watch the movie and you had a bad experience and you're judging the film on that basis.
No, I'm not. If you shut up for a minute, you'd understand what I'm trying to say.
This is not a Film Ramble On
Oh my
podcast.
fucking gay God, are you out of your goddamn mind?
What the hell
Out
is
of your goddamn mind. Now
is
listen.
God is gay?
Well,
What, he isn't?
Jesus Christ.
Look.
God of Jesus Christ, who's gay?
I don't know, fuck him. Look, I'm just saying my personal experience from it, okay? But I'm not allowing that to... It did ruin it, but I knew there was a problem, so I'm judging it based on what I imagined that it could have looked like. Now, how do you like that? His pants are already buckled back
I
up and his
imagined that
penis
it was
is gone.
fucking Star Wars. What do you mean what you imagined it could have been?
In my mind movies.
Yeah. The
You
best
know-
part was
Oh,
you
God.
don't even like the shit you make up.
Oh, God damn it.
I judged this on what I imagined it, and my story sucked.
You know what I mean. Shut up.
Don't know what you mean.
Now, as far as the sound goes, the sound could have been so much better. The dialogue was low.
What?
and-
Dialogue wasn't. The dialogue was not low.
This
The
was
dialogue-
fucking perfect.
the dialogue
This
was.
it was you had a bad fucking like experience on VOD or something.
Shut up! Jesus cocksucking Christ!
Was that MZ or was it Aries sneezing? I couldn't tell.
Oh, Jesus H. Christ. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
First time listeners, check us out.
It's a good thing we did intros. Okay, so we all should shut up then?
Can I talk?
You've been for like 22 minutes.
Yeah, and the reason why is because you guys can't shut up. You guys are too busy laughing and cutting me off and shit. Shut up! Now, what I'm saying is that the sound, for me, the dialogue was low, but yet the sound, other than the dialogue, was pretty high. So the sound in this film was rather uneven.
But that's not all of our experience.
Yeah,
so it's not
I thought
the
it was
film's
fine.
fault. Yeah. So I'm just
There was
saying
not low dialogue.
that it wasn't the film's fault.
The sound on this movie was actually pretty good, I thought, all the way
but you
around.
can't blame that on the internet. I mean, sound is sound.
Oh, yeah, you can.
No, you can, yeah. If you had a bad connection, if the shutter speed looked off for you, then why wouldn't other stuff be off?
Yeah, but why? But then why would the dialogue sound off? Yet everything else, like the action and everything else like that,
because it's all one stream, and if something corrupts the stream, it's going to be not right. You could have the dialogue not syncing up. There are a million different ways, but I'm telling you, there's a table full of people here that's telling you that the mix was fine.
all right, fine.
What?
Don't jump to conclusions.
Wow,
I will
from
agree.
The back.
I will
Aries.
agree with Monster Zero. I thought the sound was off in this movie.
Thank you.
The
Right.
speaking parts were down.
He let him go for like 10 minutes, left him dangling.
Hey, he finally brought up something I agree with, so I'm going to chime in and back him up.
Well,
Yeah,
your
wow.
internet was fucked up, too, because I could hear the dialogue fine.
Well, you could take my balls and roll them in your mouth. Right there.
Now can the rest of the show talk, though?
Roll him in your mouth.
Hey, Johnny.
Yes.
I'm suffering. Can I just play my cards out on the table here? I figure I
thought
said
you
that.
said that a few minutes
Yeah,
ago.
I did so long ago, but everybody probably fucking forgot, and I didn't get 3 sentences out before Chatty Cathy here was fucking having fucking X-Lask of the fucking brain.
He let me talk.
Well, great.
Oh, because I didn't agree with you? That's bad?
No, it is good. It's just it's not my fault. You guys need good internet. I thought this movie was really good, and the reason I thought it was good is that it's okay for a movie to just be fun and bloody and gory. You could do this bad.
Right. Yep.
There's a way to do this bad. I've seen a million trauma films where this is bad, and I've also seen Astron 6 films where they were just as violent and more witty. But I thought this was great. It's worth mentioning my stream was fine. And the sound was fine, and I didn't have a weird shutter speed, and I didn't have to. And I'm not reviewing what I imagined the film to be. I'm reviewing actually what the film was. But I thought this was fine. A lot of people aren't going to like this because it's without nuance entirely, and there is a lot of, it's just a gore fest. There was an excuse for these fucking puppets to fucking kill a lot of people. And sometimes that's fun. It was fun. Again, that's not always fun. Just the same way that the fucking boring-ass Babadook isn't always necessarily fun. This is a really fun movie. And I really enjoy it. And I think it's almost like... I don't think it was any politics behind it, but I think it comes out in such a strong contrast to a lot of the pretentious, boring... low-budget shit that people are churning out because they feel like...
Well, and this did actually sort of have... And sorry to interrupt you, Dynamo. It's going to be quick. But
No, it's fine.
This did sort of have a social, political message of kind of something that is prevalent in today's society.
Well, I mean, there were Nazi dolls attacking people of different ethnic backgrounds.
Right,
and
exactly.
colors.
It didn't really make a statement about it per se, but it mirrored something that is sort of happening in this
And it
world.
did have kind of a... It didn't really fall through, but it did have a message of about fandom, too.
Yeah, it did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it wasn't overwrought with those things, which I appreciated because, I felt at the end of the day, if I'd missed the first 10 minutes of this and just jumped in to see these dolls fucking shit up, I would have been just as happy. Now, one thing this movie did brilliantly brilliantly. I'll say it. Everybody's saying this is dumb. The writing of this film managed to, in a short amount of time, make you care to some degree about people in ways that whole slasher movies that follow around an ensemble cast at times don't do. There was minutes that some of it didn't work. I felt like the scene where the girl died in the bathtub was a little too melodrama-y. But I felt like the scene where we just watched with Torch, I felt like you got a good sketch of who those characters were. The characters at the very beginning in the car, you got a good sketch. You got more than a good sketch of who those characters were. But the main characters in this were very fleshed out and very good. But all the people who could have just been fodder, these same characters, you could have cut out that part and put music over this montage. There was a little there, and I appreciated that. And I liked that.
You got these little snapshots of the characters.
It made
like this was a good shot.
It was direct contrast to the brutality that came after it, and I thought that was fucking terrific.
And we did get we get these sort of I don't know if you want to call them vignettes, but these little vignettes before a character dies. Like we had the guy watching wrestling. We have this woman watching. Was she watching Home Improvement or something? Or I can't remember.
Yeah,
but
some kind of house.
Yeah,
HGTV show.
So we got these brief little snippets of sort of what the character is about, based on what they're watching or how they interact with someone. Like with the guy with the girl with the fake breasts that you guys didn't like.
Oh, I know. I had no problem with that.
No, not you. I mean these guys. But we had these little snapshots of these characters, which was a nice touch.
Right. I mean, they weren't all cookie cutter. You know, just like Dynamo said, to be fodder. I mean, whether you like the characters or not, you got a sense of their world, and they were all interesting looking in their own right. They had personality, and
it also kind of showed too. Again, it was kind of a speaking on fandom, because you want to think that everybody that likes comics, everybody likes whatever is like you, and they're all,
which is fucking a lie.
They're all. The internet showed that. I was about to say they're all good people and they're all Democrats, and then they all use their right and left turn indicators. But that's just not the fucking case. A lot of them are fucking animals. A lot of them have different political things. A lot of them have different religious things. It was neat that it showed this. The only thing these people had in common was that they collected these fucking puppets. And I thought that was cool, because that's true. Whether it was intentional or not, that is a true thing of fandom night. Not everybody likes horror movies is the same.
Sure,
sure. Like people are different.
I like the fact that the dolls all kind of were all over the place. They weren't just in one area, and they were all over the place, and they all congregated to this one area, which I thought was pretty cool.
You're not listening to the rest of us at all, are you?
No, I'm not.
Because we're talking about one thing, and then you keep stopping to talk about a different thing.
What is wrong with you?
That's true. What were we talking about, Raven Shadow?
Here's the panty cam. See, it definitely went.
What were we talking about? And he's not going to stick up for me. So.
No, we were talking about the characters that were killed were not fodder, and how it was all unique.
And you were talking about the puppets.
And then all of a sudden you're like, I like the puppets.
And what's wrong with liking the puppets?
It's fine.
It was like you were agreeing with us, but then
you're talking about a different thing.
Yeah.
It's the second
and what's
time
wrong
you've
with
done that.
adding something? My God, are you guys so fucking anal that you guys
No
can't handle it?
conversations. That's called non sequiturs. You're doing a bunch of non sequiturs tonight. We're talking about something.
And does that bother you?
Well, it derails the conversation.
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh, that's hot too.
Monster Zero, I'm not going to make you suck my dick, but I am going to put it in your mouth till the swelling goes down.
Jesus Christ.
You fucking asshole.
All right.
Wow.
Creepy Girl says,
"Thank you."
Yes, the main guy kept talking too low. I couldn't understand him. I agree, MZ.
Wow. He fucking texted her and sent her a message.
I understood it. I don't know. I understood everything he said. I
And
didn't have a problem.
Oily says, I can't find the shutter speed on my TV.
I know. We were just gonna let it go, Oily. It's because he didn't crank his TV for long enough.
Oh man.
What the? And I'm stupid.
I did love. I think one of my favorite lines from Michael Pere's character. I think he's about to say it actually in the scene that we're watching. He says, "This incident is turning into a happening."
Yeah.
He's so fucking cool.
He's so great, man. Yeah, I mean, this is.
Those are two of my favorite movies ever.
Which are
Eddie and the
Eddie
Cruisers.
and the
Eddie
Cruisers.
Cruz is fucking awesome. Yeah.
And Streets of Fire, baby.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And like once again, this totally could have been a Trauma, just shitty appearance
Right.
by Flavor Flav as the cop
Sure,
or
yeah.
something like that, which actually would have been awesome. But you know, like but Michael Parra, he comes in and he works with what he's dealing with, and
Right.
he was good. He was great.
The script knew what it was, and it delivered it, and that's
That
fine.
That's one thing I do want to talk about. So clearly, this is intended to be kind of a throwback, sort of mindless, gory horror film. Like, this was written by S. Craig Zahler, who wrote Bone Tomahawk and Brawl in Cell Block 99. Both really powerful,
Yeah.
pretty intense, well-written films, right? Would you guys agree?
I think both
forget
films
about it.
landed in our top 13.
Yeah. So we are clearly big fans of him as a writer and both as a director. Now, if I didn't know beforehand, I never would have known that he wrote this. Now, that's not to say that he, a good writer can go, can take a property and can kind of like shoehorn it into a different type
Right.
of film. So I'm not saying that is a bad thing, but I guess I expected a little bit more from him.
Well, I think.
Well,
he-
I don't know.
he-
Sorry.
It was sorry. I'll be quick. I think he wrote to what this was.
I agree.
And then the director came in and took that script and made it this. So I
And
think,
this-
Yeah.
I think that just last real quick, the script and the directing was in unison. Like they both know what they wanted to achieve. I think.
Sure.
I think the I don't think that I think that it's also hard. One thing that both of his films have in common is that in the gore and kind of salacious stuff, they're top heavy, right? And you just really can't, like, what are you going to do? Have people, like, that's not what this movie is. There's almost no way to do it.
Sure.
To do it that way, that type of siege movie, like, you just have people standing around till shit happened at the very end,
Now-
Not only that, but at this point, does Zahler have after two films? Well, three after this one, I guess.
But this was first,
Does-
I think.
Does he have a distinctive writing style that's specifically him that anybody would be able to point out?
Yeah, I'd say
I-
if you saw
well,
those
I don't
two
think so.
movies he
And the
directed.
other
I don't
two,
think so.
I do. I mean,
To a
he was
degree.
the final
I agree.
say because he was also the director,
Right.
So he controlled the voice throughout. But those two movies do have
Yeah.
similarities.
Yeah, in
That
both
this one doesn't
in both
share.
tonally and cinematic politics as well. The way that they
And
kind of
and the places that it goes from 0 to 60.
in dialogue.
Yeah.
And I think that you also have to remember, MZ, that it's not like people. That's not the way this worked. It wasn't like we love Bone Tomahawk. Go write us a Puppet Master movie. I think this was a fucking thing he wrote a long time ago. That
I don't think so.
That's what I thought. That was the impression I got, that he wrote this a long time ago. We could probably find out. And it got picked up because he was,
Star Wars Rising.
yeah.
Well, also, I think I don't know. I'm sure you guys noticed it because it was dropped like 3 times at the near beginning of the film, where they mentioned Sleepaway Camp.
Oh yeah.
And it's
Yep.
like maybe that's a call to the film or whatever. I don't know, but
Yeah,
I
I thought
think
it
if
was
you-
just a general sort of like
that's what
you
I thought
go
too.
away to sleepaway.
That's what I thought too. But I mean, it was mentioned like 3 times.
I mean, the first time it was said, I kind of took it as a nod.
I caught on to it, when it was first said, and I'm like, well, maybe he is making a nod to Sleepaway Camp. I don't know. It would be nice if he did. I'm sure he's seen it.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been throwaway, but that was my impression.
Yeah, I'm trying to look to see if it mentions when.
But I think what this
When
movie
he did
does
this.
really well too, in terms of being, I mean, I didn't know about it being a new direction, a bold new direction for the franchise. As far as I'm concerned, I was watching the next installment of something I adored as a kid. And I got to say that for all the films that try to do that, like, I was never a Chucky fan, but I've seen some of the Chucky new versions where he's all scarred up and trying to, this movie, Puppet Master, Rise of the Tiniest, Littlest Reich, Fisher Price, my first Reich, was it fits in that world. Like, this is like a 2018 version of what we grew up with. And sorry, this fucking guy is awesome. Who is he?
Yeah, I know. The guy's fucking jacked, huh?
Yeah, he was in I Come in Peace, right? He's been in tons
Yeah,
of stuff.
yeah.
He probably fought everybody from Van Damme to Seagal. Like,
Yeah.
who is he? Was he?
He's in Die Hard, right?
He was.
No, not
No,
that
no,
guy.
no.
He's dead, actually.
Oh.
There's a blonde guy looks like, but you guys, you Dynamo, you know. who this fucking guy is.
Matthias Hughes.
Yeah. But it's interesting, Raven Shadow, because I got cut off before I could finish. This actually isn't like that first one at all. Like, I understand that it would be if you only saw it when you were 12 that you remember it that way.
Well, memory
But
of the
there's-
overall franchise.
Right, but there's not much violence in those films. Like, they were almost a lot of like, the first one had a little nudity in it, but then after that, they got really blockbuster friendly.
Okay.
And
this
they
makes sense.
weren't real super gory. They weren't. They sometimes most of the first three had some hero shots, but like they weren't. There's never been a Puppet Master movie where in the instance a puppet would fly up somebody's vagina and come out their pregnant body. It just never happened. Like in fact, they found ways. All these puppets except for one, if you look at their design, found ways to not have gore. One strangled somebody or punched somebody to death. In the original one, I think it was, he punched somebody in the leg and broke their ankle. Like they were all designed to not have that level of gory special effects. But I remember as a kid thinking that movie was off the fucking reservation because they were like these dolls. But the reality was this is so different. And I say that because I know a lot of people aren't fans of that original franchise, and that might turn them off this movie. And it would be a shame because I think this movie's a good time.
So I guess we'll start to wind things down here. The one thing I did like, without getting into too much spoilers, that there was some plot points at the end were a little surprising. It wasn't sort of your run-of-the-mill, all the good guys live, I thought there were some nice little twists in terms of some of the character arcs, I guess I'll say. And I definitely would have liked to seen a little bit more Udo Kier as well.
Yes.
Yeah, the fact that he was only in the
No, you don't have to.
I am
It's
almost.
not a big spoiler, but
I can't find. See, here's what kind of happens when this happens. Once the movie comes out, that becomes when the person wrote it. But I feel like if you looked at his filmography at one point,
I don't know because
he wrote this Puppet Master after.
I don't think so, man, because Fangoria had acquired this not too long ago. Cinestate and Fangoria had acquired this property not too long ago, and I'm pretty sure that they had him just write it once they acquired it.
I'm almost positive that I saw this right around the time as the incident. But I could be wrong. But I also got the impression they picked this up because he wrote it.
That wouldn't be surprising.
We'll try to get to the bottom of it, but I don't think so. But
Do some research.
And then just like good people doing good in other stuff, even if I'm right, we won't hear about it anyway.
No, you'll let us know.
No, I won't. I won't.
You'll let us know.
No, I won't. Because
you told us last week.
I'll just get turned down anyway.
What I think too is like the characters, as shit was kind of starting to go down and run amok, there wasn't a lot of obvious stupid behavior. You know what I mean? Like that,
Yeah, it got a little less bitty. Yeah, I like that.
Everyone fleeing right now makes fucking sense. What happens after the scene, kind of makes sense. The point where you think the cops are going to be fucking, the cops are bad. They're really trying to do their job, and I feel bad for this guy. But what do you do? I mean, I like this way more than I should have. Oh, one last thing, Dynamo. The girlfriend in this, I think she would have been she's a great comic version of Tulip.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Especially when she had the gun.
So I
and the
do
haircut.
I love the Tulip on the show more than the Tulip on the comic.
She's great. She's super hot.
That's not why I like her, but
Well, she got sass for your ass.
I did find something here, Dynamo, that might corroborate your thing. So 2016, Puppet Master reboot in works with S. Craig Zahler penning script from 2016. Is that when you meant, or did you mean longer than that?
I'm trying to find where I.
Because this was when the news looks like it broke was in May of 2016. So it was after Bone Tomahawk, but before Cell Block 99.
It could be that. Could be then. I mean, I don't remember actually seeing it, but I remember seeing something of his screenplays that hadn't got made. At one point, he had like 30 or something screenplays that the only one that had got bought was Incident, and then Bone Tomahawk happened. So maybe I had just got the impression that why would you make a Puppet Master screenplay in 2016 when the franchise was not very reputable?
Well, I mean, they had acquired the rights to do it, so that clearly they had maybe they thought that there was some money to be made in it, or, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if anyone knows out there, let us know. But otherwise, I mean, looks like the oldest thing I could find was 2016 mentioning it. So, all right. So, anyone else have anything to say before we head to a verdict on this one?
And pardon me, not for nothing, it feels like something he wrote as a younger man.
Sure, but I think now with him being really hot with Bone Tomahawk, Brawl and Cell Block 99, and Dragged Across Concrete coming out, like, I don't know if he would want something that's half-assed that he wrote when he was really young coming out, unless he really felt good about it.
Yeah,
like,
which is possible why, yeah. But if you sell something, luckily Cinestate could have picked it up, or if they had it all along, because if you sell something, you don't have any stay. It happens all the time.
Right, but he's like their main dude there.
At Cinestate, but not at,
Yeah, but
he wasn't always.
This was put out by Cinestate.
Right, but all right, forget it. I'm starting to feel like Monster Zero. You're answering me before you hear what I have to say.
Go ahead.
No, it's fine. It won't matter anyway because you.
Match with Omaha says, Night All, got a crash. Can't wait to listen to the whole show Friday. Thanks, buddy.
See you, buddy.
And thanks again for the donation.
This is why I hate Star Wars nerds.
Wow.
You calling me a Star Wars nerd?
Yeah. But you're a good one, though. You're not a stupid Nazi one.
I would hope not. That would be a little weird. All right, let's head to the verdict.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it's verdict time. We're going to let you know whether this flick was a trick or a treat and any final thoughts we may have. Raven Shadow.
Fuck it, man. I loved it. I had a great time with this. I'd like to watch this with maybe 2 other dudes.
Why not 3 or 4?
No, I think I know. I'm it's very. Some movies are very specific to who you want to view it with.
Well, you mean like this is a party film?
No. Well, I mean, 3 people could be a party, sure. But no, I think in a nice setting, a couple of pizzas, maybe a bowl. I would have liked to watch this with like Derek Rook and Monster Zero.
I'm gonna.
What?
Oh, well, obviously not, because he'll fuck up the.
Why
shutter
would you?
speed.
Why would you do that to Derek?
Yeah.
Because I like Derek, and I'd want to hang out with Derek, and I figured I thought Monster Zero would like this more than he did. But no, I think this I would have. When I was watching this, I wish Derek Rook and Monster Zero were here.
That's the weirdest fucking review I've ever heard in my whole entire life.
So
it makes me strangely uncomfortable.
Derek knows.
I'm gonna napalm this whole other side of the table.
Yeah, man, treat. I fucking loved it. Who fucking would think that I would like a fucking Puppet Master movie in 2018? I loved it. I really enjoyed it.
I loved it.
I loved it.
All right, Aries. The shutter speed was all wrong. The audio
was
sucked.
all kinds of off. I although I'm wrong because I disagree with Mars that
Everyone else heard it. Everyone else had. Well,
no.
Yeah.
Don't say everyone else.
Don't say
The 3 of you heard it fine.
right.
Myself, MZ, and Creepy Girl heard it wrong.
Creepy
So that's
girls,
even.
Creepy girls from Florida.
What does that have to do with anything?
She may not even.
Oh,
have
shutter
a-
speed's all fucked
She
up
may
down
not
there.
even have the toilet runs backwards.
Yeah, the swamp just
Yeah.
screws everything up.
Yeah, the alligators
Yeah.
were yelling.
So
Right.
I disagree, so I'm wrong.
Huh?
Okay.
Well, that's not why you're wrong. You just happen to be wrong.
Yeah. I also found that the Foley's work and it was off. Go ahead. Tell me why I'm wrong.
No, I'm not going to even bother
Yeah.
being idiots.
Though I do agree that the background players, their sub-stories were done well. The main characters I thought were done very poorly. I I had no stake in them whatsoever. I was actually rooting for all of them to die.
I loved.
Yeah, and it was sad because 2 of them I really like as actors. So to root for them to die.
Who was the other actor that you liked?
I don't remember either of the actors' names.
Well, the
Barbara Crampton.
Dangle and who else?
The 2 male leads.
Oh, do you know the other guy from something? Was he in something else?
Markowitz,
Markowitz.
the ones who own the comic store.
Jesus Christ, no.
Markowitz,
The cop and
Markowitz was in The Office.
Oh, Pear. Michael Pear.
Michael
Pare.
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 Yeah.
Pear. All day.
Pear.
Just stop the show. Can we? That's it right there, right? Like,
How did you go through this whole time thinking his last name was Pear?
I didn't think a lot about
how
it.
did you go this whole time being shaped like a bear?
Well, I didn't think a lot about it. I don't mean. I'm not gonna try to say anything in French.
Pare is in French.
It's not. Well, they wear parades, don't they?
Oh, God damn it!
Okay, he's just poking you.
Raspberry parade. Let's talk about
He's
Prince.
just poking you.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Yes, he is really.
You know why?
Thank
It's
you,
because you
Aaron.
don't even watch The Simpsons, dude.
Oh my God. As I said before,
I didn't say that.
all his jokes are stolen.
No, fuck you. Fuck you. It is. That's
Is-
pissing me off
is-
too.
is
On the
that
same
stolen?
level. Yeah. And I was thinking about that when I was fucking vacuuming the other day too. It stuck on my fucking crop.
When you were vacuuming,
Yeah.
you get heated when
I
you
was getting
vacuum.
upset. I go downstairs and fucking talk to the dog for a little bit. He calmed me down. But no, that sticks on my fucking crop. You're fucking next.
You're next.
Raven
Well,
Shadow's gonna
tune
take
in
off.
next week for
Right?
Raven Shadow's last show.
Aries will kill him on air, tear him apart.
It's Patreon.
Oh crap! I had one last thing I wanted to pick apart. and I
No, because you had
fucking
to
lost
be
it.
outrageous.
Was the
and hurt
shutter
my feelings.
speed? Was
No.
it the audio?
Audio. I said the audio.
The performances?
Oh no,
the comic store?
No,
They
no,
do a bad job.
No, I just remembered my last little pet peeve with this. I felt they thought of the kills and then tried to form a story around it. Kind of a minor thing, but
It's kind of every 80s horror movie.
Well, to a certain degree, I just felt this was a little more forced. I didn't care for the story, essentially.
All right.
Okay, moving on.
Wrong.
So was it Trick or Treat? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. For myself, it was a trick.
MZ.
You know, it's so good to see Barbara Crampton back. I love her. You know, she's great. You know, and but she deserves to be in films that are better than this.
Is this our fourth Barbara Crampton movie?
I don't know. Maybe.
You know, I just love her to death. And but that being said, you know, I really wish she was a lot better in this. I felt that her whole idea of being, I mean, she's a tour guide in a house, you know, or whatever, and you know, showing people around, and here she is armed to the teeth.
She said she was a cop.
Yeah, she was a cop.
Or she was a former cop.
No, she's a
Oh,
police.
she was a cop.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
She was the one that was part of the squad that busted through.
Busted through the
no,
door
no,
at the beginning.
that I do remember. I do remember that. Okay, well,
You just imagined it wrong.
maybe I did, but you know, I did have problems with the audio. There were problems with the audio in this movie. What is your problem?
There wasn't problems. You had problems.
I had problems with the audio. He had problems with the audio. Creepy Girl had problems with the audio. That's 3. 3 people did not have problems with the audio. That's you 3. So it's 3-3, 50-50. So shut the fuck up.
You would say the shutter speed was something was broken on your TV that's not even on a TV. That's really fucking broken.
Okay, so what was my issue then?
You couldn't hear.
Where
for
do we
some
start,
reason.
Aries?
It rhymes with
You're
whiskey.
still on my good side, Wolfie. Don't jump to the other side.
You couldn't hear it for some reason, but that's different than what he was saying. He's saying the movie was broken.
I didn't say the movie was
Did you
broken.
wait? Did you guys listen to it through a tin can?
Hello.
Hello. What's going on now?
Yeah,
Hello.
Yeah, and let me tell you something, Wolfie. If you didn't hear it, if you heard what we heard, let's
Yep.
let's say it was reversed.
Okay.
You three heard what we heard.
Yep.
And us three heard what you heard.
Okay.
You guys would be bullshit.
First base.
Wait,
You guys would be getting all pissed off.
wait. So who am I? Who am I on that roster? Am I?
You're with
Aries?
them.
No, all right, no, but like,
You're on the good team.
okay,
I thought
all
me and him were in cahoots.
right.
I just think that this movie could have been better.
Louder.
The You shut the fuck up, you dick nose.
What are you looking at, Dick Nose?
God. And people want to know why this show takes 3.5 hours. All right.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, right.
No, say,
I think Mars is dying.
I really
He's
think
been
he is,
dying for a
actually.
long
Yeah.
time.
He's slowly dying.
I'm still trying to figure out what side of that hypothetical you put there.
Huh?
What?
You shouldn't review a movie if you couldn't really watch it. And if the movie was starting and stopping, you shouldn't review it.
don't gotta watch
It's that simple.
Well, I figured it was what everybody else was going through.
Like that's the movie they put out.
You could ask.
Yeah.
There's a
Look
thing-
at the movie Automaton Transfusion. That's shutter speed as well.
obviously.
Look
Oh,
at
shut the
look-
fuck
look
up,
at-
Four Eyes.
look at Blood Pigs. No
Yeah,
offense.
Look at Blood Pigs. That's shutter speed as well.
I don't think you
Okay,
understand what
so-
Shutter
speed
speed
means.
means.
Just watch Automaton Transfusion or Blood Pigs.
Is
You'll
one
know
of those-
exactly
Okay, you know
what I
what?
mean.
I'll back you if you're right, but if you're wrong, you're wrong.
Believe me, I'm right. I saw it myself for the last hour and a half.
But that's not shutter speed.
It is shutter speed. Oh my fucking god!
How
You
can
know-
I fix that on my TV?
Ah, fucking.
Wow.
Jesus Christ! Was it trick or treat?
No, I'm getting fucking pissed.
Was it
You're
trick or
breaking your
treat?
bonnet.
I ain't saying. How do you like that? I'm not saying.
All right.
Fuck all y'all. in the ass.
That's a Patreon. $5.
Yeah, pay and get to hear his verdict.
We'll email you his review.
Send a self-addressed stamp to Trick or Treat Radio, Castle Wolfenstein.
You're all a bunch of cunts. Fuck off.
Wolfie, the AM/FM on this was all messed up. The
All right, we'll never know what MZ thought of this. Never know. Maybe one day we'll find out.
I was really pissed because the catalytic converter on my television was all fucked up.
Mars, what's your verdict?
I couldn't even fucking watch it because my fucking Slim Slab Slabberwocky was all.
The hamster running
Yeah.
around the treadmill.
And
chased
nope.
by the cat.
And furthermore, where did they even buy those puppets?
BigBadToyStore.com.
Were they on eBay? I really love this movie. I thought Barbara Crampton was actually one of my favorite parts of this film. She's with the exception of maybe Sunchoke, which I thought was not a very good movie. She's generally my favorite part of everything that she's in. She was in We Are Still Here, right? I'm remembering that, right? She was
Yeah,
she was
she was in
fucking
that, yeah.
great.
The videotape movie.
The videotape?
Tape.
I know which
movie.
one he's talking about.
Well,
Thank
great.
you.
That's a big help.
Oh, Beyond the Gate.
Beyond the
Beyond the
Gates.
Gates.
Yep,
yeah.
she was in that. She played the
The Game Master
Yeah.
or whatever, yeah.
yeah, the movie Neck wrote. But yeah, I really love this. It was I didn't have a problem hearing it, but which is weird. Here's my point of contention. I'm pretty much deaf. I could hear everybody fine.
Okay, well, here's a question.
yeah.
Did you crank the volume up?
No, probably not.
I would guess so because I've watched movies with you before.
So but here's my question: if you can't hear anything, do you just satisfy with that? You'd be like, this movie's dead to me.
Okay.
I'm not touching the remote. Nope. This movie should be right from the start.
Okay, you guys know my significant other.
Yes. I'm not even pressing play.
No, if she's not happy with the volume of the movie, then it's going to change. So if I'm listening to it too loud, it's going to go down.
But that's like his fucking shutter speed problem. That's not the movie's fault.
But it's not it's not people talking that is causing her to go turn it down. It's the sound effects. So if the sound effects peak and make her want me to turn it down,
Yeah, but
then the sound
That's
effects
not
is
the movie's
too
fault.
loud.
well, hold on. That actually is not the movie's fault because that it probably is mixed for surround sound, and if you have just the TV with 2 speakers in the back, it's going to be that way. It's unfortunately a side effect of having it mixed for a certain type of audio and then listening to it in like several less speakers than it was intended for.
Oh, so it's our fault for not having the right.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it actually is.
Yeah. Cunts.
I mean, I have.
But that also goes back to you being able to listen to it at 1 billion decibels and me not being able to.
But that's still not the movie's fault. You
I
guys
didn't
are
say
reviewing things that you say to the movie's fault.
I didn't say the movie was bad because of the audio. I said there was a problem with the audio.
Oh, wait, watch this scene here.
This scene.
No, don't do it.
That was one of the unexpected parts I was talking about.
Yeah, I
So-
don't understand. Did the dumpster move?
No, she said
She just wasn't very good at it.
zig what she said zag.
Yeah.
I was a little concerned about her age in regards to Mekowitz or whatever his name was.
I looked her up.
Markowitz.
She's like 32 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay then.
I had no problem with the audio.
All right, but Mars, what
I
is your
had
verdict?
no problem.
We got it.
I have no problem with the video, personally. I thought the story was what the story was, which is fine. Not every movie has to have a fucking Lord of the Rings style backstory or some sort of pretentious subtext to be enjoyable. This was a fun, gory romp. I don't know what it has for watchability, like rewatchability, because I feel like once you see these bits, you've seen these bits. But I thought that this was fun. I thought it was a treat. There's no problem with this movie, technically or otherwise. I got more than I expected from this movie and less than I expected from this movie, because I thought I was just gonna get a full moon movie, and it was more than any shitty full moon movie that I've ever seen. But it was not. Though he didn't direct this, it was not as good as other movies that I've seen that Zaller has been involved in.
All right. And for me, this was also a treat, and this was just mindless puppet mayhem. I think it was a fun throwback with great gore. Not quite, like I had mentioned, not quite what I'd expect from S. Craig Zaller after seeing Bone Tomahawk and Brawl in Cell Block 99, but I also couldn't really see that working with Puppet Master, like doing a serious sort of, style. That's funny. Siri on my phone just turned on when I said serious.
Yes, Johnny.
So
Is my sound okay?
But the script was better than your run-of-the-mill horror flick, so I will definitely admit to that. I love the puppets, love the mayhem, and I would definitely recommend this to most horror fans because I think that this is just a straight-up sort of mindless gore flick that has an easy-to-follow story. It's not too convoluted. It's not too simple. It's just enough. And everything in context, I think, makes sense. So for me, it was a treat. This isn't like this isn't probably not going to make the year-end list. It was a fun flick to watch, and I enjoyed it, and I think a lot of other people out there will. So treat for me, treat for Mars, treat for Raven Shadow, trick for Ares, and Monster Zero will never know. So, that's going to wrap up our discussion of Puppet Master, the Littlest Reich. Next week, I'm looking forward to this one, baby. This is one of the ones I've been looking forward to. We're doing from RKSS, the directors of Turbo Kid, Summer of '84.
Nice.
Oh, do we talk about this? Do
I'm
we know?
calling it treat.
I'm calling it. What, Raven Shadow?
Is it something that we've talked about on the show before? Like,
Yeah, we posted the trailer online. We've talked about it. You like Turbo Kid, right?
I did.
So this is from RKSS, the film collective that
Turbo
directed
Kid
that.
was fucking awesome.
You gotta fix your phone. So you could,
You're missing out.
You were getting a D for participation before, but now you're in the F range.
F minus.
Yeah.
Well, I contribute.
Huh?
I contribute.
Not to the fib.
F minus.
No, I'm
minus.
not. No, I
Your phone's broken. It's not your fault.
We're not blaming you.
Your shutter speed's all fucking
Your shutter
out of
speed's
whack.
fucked.
Listen. Was there an app for shutter speed?
So next week, Summer of '84, it is popping up on VOD on August 24th. So Friday, August 24th, this will be available to watch. I would recommend you guys watch this because a lot of people are looking forward to it, and there's been a lot of really great feedback about it coming out of festivals and stuff. So I think this is one. It's I mean, clearly, Summer of '84 is the name of the movie, so it takes place in the '80s. This is going to be a throwback '80s flick. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be awesome. So that's next week. Do you guys have? We'll talk about during the break. Maybe we'll think of a second segment for next week based on this. I don't know if that gets any juices flowing for you guys, but
something pumping.
Start thinking of something. And let me catch up in the chat room. Let's see what we got. We just had Evil Corny says, "Damn, how did Raven Shadow get through streaming the movie with no problem?" And MZ did.
So fucking smart.
And the first time Mike says it's a conundrum.
Yeah, well.
All right, so we are going to take a break. We're going to come back, and then we're going to talk about our favorite puppets/dolls. And play some feedback, and then wrap things up. So MZ will be back in how long?
2 and 2.
Is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk. Their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips. The beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
Trick or Treat Radio is the greatest podcast ever invented. The spelling is very bad. I'm not sure who wrote this. And the Deedites? The Deedites. Is that a company that procures houses? The Deadites. Oh, it's the Deadites. The Deadites are a fantastic musical act. That is what I was supposed to say. And there you go. There it is. Cheeseburger. Remember to rent The Fly, because that's a good movie for making love to.
Jeff Goldblum, thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully we can get you on the show again sometime soon.
Hello, boys and girls. It's Ms. Matrix. As legal counsel to the DSTS, I advise you it's in your best interest to follow the Deadites on Instagram. Live photos, portraits, behind the scenes and backstage stuff. It's more sexy than your eyes can handle. And if you say you have better things to do than look at me all day, then either A, you're an idiot, or B, you're lying.
All right, we're back at Trick or Treat Radio. Mars, you said to remind you you had something to say.
What the?
Oh my God, it's the Sheik.
You gonna make us all humble?
Are you trying to
No,
hide
not
why
the
you
Iron
attacked
Sheik.
me?
I'm talking about the original Sheik. He's gonna have a
Oh,
fire. He's
Christ.
gonna have a barbed wire fire match at some point, I think.
Aries is sad at me, Wolfie.
You say I'm sad at you?
I let him pass me, and he said, "It's a bit late to be nice to me now."
What?
I let him pass in the hallway, and he said, "It's a bit a bit late to be nice to me now." And I feel like I was nice to him all along.
First time Mike wants to know why you're wearing a babushka.
It's because I love mothers. And some mothers wear babushkas. I am paying homage to those mothers right now. I can't fucking breathe, and Aries is giving me a hard time because I didn't agree with him on something. This one's not letting me finish talking. That one is confused because for some reason
Do you need a teddy bear to hold on to?
Oh, you should be having issues, man. Here.
Because for some reason the lights on your truck went on and they
Hold
scared
on to
Raven
that.
Shadow.
Oh, I must have leaned on my key.
So everybody's all fucked up here, but not me.
Did I unlock my truck?
I don't know. I just walking by, the lights went on. You jumped, you stared at it like a scene of Christine. So what did I do to be mean to you? Okay, perfect.
He's looking out the window.
What did I do to be mean to you? Nothing. We disagreed on a movie. Me and Wolfie disagree all the time. Am I being mean to Wolfie?
I didn't see you being mean to me,
You said I wasn't being nice to you.
which is different than being mean.
For fuck's sake, on a horse.
What?
Whatever. I don't care.
You obviously do.
Nope. Nope. Don't care.
I hurt your feelings.
No. Nope.
Yeah, come on in, Raven.
Come on in. You missed it all. Did Aries' car scare you?
Make sure you adjust your balls before you get on camera.
What does that
What,
even
did you really think I was going to call you out on that one?
Why? What happened?
You left the room to adjust your balls.
No,
and I
no.
didn't?
He didn't leave the room. He walked off camera.
Oh shit!
Did you tuck and roll?
Did you say it wasn't your fault?
No, first time listeners, it wasn't my balls I was adjusting.
What were you adjusting?
My brajol. Well, I didn't fucking bring it up on air. I discreetly excused
I have a
myself
question for you.
to walk around. I adjusted myself.
What in the beginning of the show made your brajul react in a way that it had to be moved?
I'm wearing tight trousers, man. They're very form-fit.
Those aren't tight trousers.
Not tight.
Those aren't
You
tight.
could fit.
He's wearing slacks.
You could
They're
fit 3
tight on
Michael
the rest
Raven
of
shadows
us.
in there.
They're tight on the rest of us.
Well, I'm tight
On
in,
you,
in certain parts.
On you, they're practically
I am
disco
tight in
pants.
certain parts.
Well, I mean,
They're bell bottoms.
you want to see? I mean, I had to adjust. I'm sitting on. I have a chair.
You guys either have to fuck or fight before next week because it's getting old.
Which one?
What? Who?
Y-
What?
You two.
Okay, thank you.
What, me and Aries?
No,
No,
you
yeah.
and Monster Zero.
Why am I fighting with Monster Zero?
Well, I'm
You
not
almost
fucking
had a
him.
fist fight with him.
No, I didn't.
You
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you came
On
pretty
Saturday,
close.
yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you came pretty close.
No,
If
I
you said a 3-letter word one more time, you would have jumped across that table.
Yeah. You were like, I'm going to hit you on your big dome head. That was you.
You did threaten. You did threaten.
I
No,
was
you
nervous.
threatened
Yeah,
him.
and you're
I
just
didn't.
mad.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
you
did.
did.
All of us heard it.
Yeah, and
That's
somebody
not a real threat.
and somebody
We're just talking.
and somebody
No.
was going to mention it. Somebody was going to mention it. Just happened to be me.
No, I wasn't really threatening you.
Yes,
Yeah,
you were
you
totally
kinda were.
fucking serious.
No,
You-
but it was like it was just having a
no,
conversation.
no,
No,
no. You
conversation.
you got all heated and
You
you
were
I
getting
got a little
mad.
heat. I feel
we
like
all were like, oh, whoa, what's going
I
on?
feel like
Yeah,
getting a little
even
picked on. I feel like I was getting a little picked on a little bit.
But even
You
me,
deserved it.
even me, who plays things off, and just rolls it off his back. Even I was like, okay, Raven Shadow. Okay, all right.
Well, it was gonna been a thing. Then just talk about it became a whole thing. I didn't want it to become a thing. But I wasn't really.
He even offered to buy you a new 3-letter word.
Buy you a new 3-letter word.
He flat out said, I'll buy you a new one so you
Yeah.
don't have that symbol
Yeah.
anymore.
But it wasn't. I wasn't really threatening you.
Well, the Academy Award goes to Ray.
Well, I did. All right, I fine. I didn't hit him with a fucking pillow.
That's a 3-letter word.
Yeah,
I didn't hear what was the other thing I did? I hit him with a pillow, and what was the other thing I
you
did?
chopped him.
Well,
Chop,
yeah, but the difference between those two things, I'm not saying I didn't do it.
No, you did it.
Right, but you're saying that you weren't acting that way, and you were.
Well, we're having a conversation.
No, you were kind of.
No, you were getting mad.
But I was upset. I was a little upset. But you can say shit when you're upset.
a little upset.
You were really
That's
upset.
like saying the Elephant Man had a little puffiness around the eye.
I wasn't really upset.
You were.
No.
Get Psycho Patrick on the phone. You were upset. It's okay.
Well, I was upset, but I
People
wasn't.
lose their temper.
I wasn't really gonna fucking.
I thought you were going to break your beer bottle and start shivving me with it,
No.
for Christ's sake.
I love you. I'm gonna give you a smooch.
Okay, on a different note, did you have a good time after the show?
That was a little ridiculous, Raven Child, I will say.
What?
We're trying to play.
What? We won't mention it too much, but we couldn't talk to Raven Shadow. He was off in the corner.
He's just
somewhere.
gonna not say it, deny it.
What?
Did you even go
What?
to the show? I wasn't even at the show.
What show?
I was watching The Simpsons.
I was watching this.
He was doing 3-letter words.
Doesn't even have anything to do with me.
How were the Deadites that night?
They were great. They were awesome.
What songs they play?
All the fan favorites, the ones you hear. On
What
the
was
show.
the last one they played?
Aquaphobic.
What was the first one we
He's
played?
An old one. I love Sense. No, it was good. You did. You really
I actually
good. You
don't
were
remember
singing.
what the first song we played was.
Yes, neither do I.
We played Ghost second.
It was a very nice night of seeing old friends.
And new ones.
And meeting some new people that you know, and that's just nice. It was a nice.
And we played Shadow.
You played Shadow.
Wolfie, what did we play first? Do you remember?
I don't know. Was it Play to the Damned?
Yes.
Something like that.
Let's play the damned.
Yeah, I don't remember the first song, but I remember that you went on to like a 15-minute behind the music rant in between the first and second song.
It wasn't that long. There was one long one, but that one wasn't long.
Yeah.
I said hello. It was just combined with saying hello to everybody and telling everybody what this was and thanking them.
I thought I was watching a behind the music. That was
Sorry, that's what it was for. Ted wanted us to talk more.
bullshit.
He did. He wanted us to talk. Like, it was a big deal to them. Just because you're around it all the time and you're sick of it is a big deal to them.
Are you trying to tell me the club owner told you to talk?
The club owner, like,
The owner of a
club
rock
owner
and roll
wa-
club said talk.
The club owner wanted us to do, like, go back down memory lane.
I think he meant musically.
Well, we did. But we wanted to talk, and Tiny wanted.
Just because it's behind the music doesn't mean it's music. Like, it's...
Just because it's
No,
behind the music.
I
doesn't
get what
mean it's-
Dynamo's saying. I get what he's saying. You know, I mean, the owner told him to, go, as he puts it, go down memory lane. And with the music, he probably wanted to add a little, history story to
People in the
to
band-
the
He
song.
always does that. He
I
doesn't
do
need
not
prompting.
always do that.
See?
I don't.
Who's the ghost now?
We'll go 7 or 8 songs now without stopping.
Yes, 'cause
Yeah,
you
yeah,
get
they're the
two
Rolling
lovely ladies
Stones.
that can sing for you while you're in the back, catching your breath.
Well, I didn't catch my breath at all this time. I got through the whole thing.
Because you were talking.
Talking takes breath too.
He does have a point
Like,
there.
are you trying to tell me you get winded having a conversation?
With you, I do.
And I just want you to take note that MZ backed you on this.
Because he understood what I was trying to do, and people liked it. And you're the only one that's given negative feedback. So.
Hi. Have we met?
Yeah, I know. But then you're gonna say I'm mean.
You are mean.
I am not mean.
I mean, you know what I mean.
All right.
Wow.
You
So
know what?
we-
I'm gonna talk for fucking 20 minutes in between songs on October. What do you think of that?
Doesn't bother me any. I can walk away.
You'll be at the booth. You can't leave.
If I
At the
knew
merch
that,
booth.
if I knew that
Who's
was
going to sell these brownies?
Oh, someone else in the YouTube says, love the intros.
Thank you.
Aw, man.
It's Dumb Guy Gaming.
He's my boy right there.
What's his name?
Dumb Guy Gaming.
DGG.
Oh, okay. Dumb guy.
Probably
Thanks,
sa-
dumb guy.
It's probably saying.
No, it's not saying. Unless Sang has a YouTube channel that with a bunch of followers that we didn't know about.
Well, he would.
Yeah, if he actually, if he posted videos, he probably.
Oh man, saying equals Patreon.
Yeah.
Saying equals Disney never hiring us.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
Wait. I think we got that covered in house already.
We don't need help
Yeah,
not being hired.
No, it's true.
All right, so let's talk about some of our favorite cinematic puppets / dolls. Does anyone have one that they're really excited to talk about?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, man.
If you take mine, I'm gonna club you.
Oh, I don't doubt it. But, probably.
He doesn't have one.
No, I do have one. Probably my favorite is Bletch from
Oh, you almost took mine.
Meet the Feebles.
Bletch.
Bletch was so fucking cool. The walrus. The
Yep.
the
He was like the
owner,
leader, the owner, yeah, like
yeah,
the leader.
the theater owner and the show organizer. Very cool. He's such a scumbag. If you've never seen Meet the Feebles, then how dare
rectify
you?
that immediately?
Yeah, because that is Peter Jackson's triumph, and the whole.
I don't know about triumph, but it's a great fucking movie.
To me, it's his triumph.
I still like Bad Taste.
Yeah. Bad Taste is fantastic.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's the fucking kick-ass Dead Alive?
Dead Alive is superb. But Meet the Feebles is just insanely brilliant, and
check it out, MZ.
Yes, wow, that's a good print. And Bletch is just a walrus who's married to Heidi the hippo, who is his big star attraction on the show Meet the Feebles, and he gets some side sex with Samantha the pussycat.
Meet the Feebles. Meet the Feebles.
It's so good. Has anyone not seen the Meet the Feebles here?
No.
You have?
Yeah.
Aries, have you seen it?
Yeah. It was one of the early flicks we watched when.
Yeah, I think I
out.
could have sworn we'd all seen this together.
I think you guys had already seen it, but it was subsequent. It was obviously rewatched.
This movie is just fucking brilliant from beginning to end.
I rented it at your video store.
No one rented it after I worked there anymore. It was one of those $100 ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it ended up with me.
You know,
after.
I'm not gonna say my favorite cinematic puppet because I think me and Aries may have the same answer. But one thing I will say in horror, I don't like the puppet gimmick very much all the time because, and it's one thing I wanted to say before I was didn't get to finish last time. What I did like about the Puppet Master movie is that it took care of the elephant in the room that I don't like in most puppet movies or doll movies, that I could just fucking kick that fucking doll.
Right.
It showed that the dolls were faster and supernaturally strong, and that's something that the other ones weren't good at establishing because most of the time it just felt like you could take them and throw them. So I did like that, but I don't like I mean, Chucky's pretty funny, but I always felt like, I could just fucking kick Chucky. The dolls, were spooky. I thought the doll in Magic was spooky, but if it had,
I picked Magic.
But if it had any if it tried to do anything scary, I'd just grab by its fucking puppet foot and sling it into the swamp. I don't think puppets are generally very scary. I think when dolls and puppets are scary is when they don't do anything and they're actually just kind of creepy dolls.
Well, say your answer because I got to back up.
Animal.
Nice. Yeah.
Animal is my favorite Muppet and puppet of all time. I have an animal that I got when I was born that still lives in my pillowcase now that I still have to this day. He has no head, though.
Animal, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go next because this is... My pick is also for Meet the Feebles, and I was going back and forth between two characters.
I think I know who you're going to go with.
Wobbit and Sebastian. And I think I like Wobbit better, but he's not really he's just a sympathetic character. I'm going to go with Sebastian, though, because of this.
Sebastian is badass.
Because of this fucking number.
Yeah. I love the music in this, too. It's so good.
Oh, this fucking song.
That I enjoy the act of sodomy. You might call it off of God on me, but
oh, if you guys have not seen Meet the Feebles, you gotta change that right away. You gotta see this movie.
if you feel ashamed, it's been around for years.
At what point am I not going to get blamed for you sneezing anymore?
It's not Aries' fault that you're fucking sneezing.
Yeah, it is patient zero.
He sneezed once.
Yeah,
And I just love what happens during the song, too. I think that's probably, the best part.
He sneezed once. He shook the whole fucking room. He sneezed once.
But no one else in this room is sneezing.
Well, it's not my fault I'm susceptible to the fucking Andromeda strain, is it?
So you're the weak one in the room.
Right, yeah, great. I'm the one who didn't. I'm the one who dies in the beginning montage in the stand. Thank you.
Exactly.
This is Wolfie. This is literally like a nightmare that I would have. He's fucking yelling
with
at
this
me.
song playing?
He's fucking fucking singing, and I can't hear the music. He sounds like a maniac. This one's cackling like a fucking. This is like a fucking nightmare that I would
It
have.
does seem like a nightmare.
Yeah.
It does-
This is the
I can't
fucking
argue
worst.
that point. That's fair.
Oh.
You glad you lived?
Yeah, no. Every day I wish I didn't wake up. Every day.
Such a ballsy flick, man.
No crowd.
Trevor,
I
want
that
you
to
that fudge packer
eliminated.
eliminated.
Trevor.
Yes, boss.
I want that fudge packer eliminated.
Wowzers. Now, you think that new movie, The Happy Time Murders, is going to try to come to this, or it's going to fall short?
This is America's piss poor attempt to try to make Meet the Feebles.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just trying to
you
be a silly.
Yeah, that's like saying
Muppet
that-
movie with adult themes.
I'm going with, I'll stick with Meet the Feebles any given day.
Yeah, but
that and let my puppets come.
Yes, perfect.
You still got to see Marquee.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it's available.
But
anywhere,
but you
gotta
don't
see
think
it.
there's enough room in the market of 30 or so years later for another dirty puppet movie?
Oh, sure.
It's not that one.
Just not that one.
All right. So who else has a puppet movie, or a puppet or a doll?
I don't know if mine counts, but
Is it a puppet or a doll in a movie?
Yeah, I think so.
Then it counts.
You think so?
I think so. I may have said it before, just because it fucking terrified me as a child. I think it was the first movie that really, maybe gave me nightmares. And it was, Trilogy of Terror.
Zuni doll, yes.
And there's a couple things, and maybe I might have mentioned this on the air before. We might have talked about it, but if memory serves, it was a statue of a pygmy, right? A pygmy statue.
Yeah.
That would come to life and attack Karen Black like a fucking evil fucking pygmy. Well, my dad, and I remember when it came out, 82 maybe, 81, 82, that movie came out. In our living room was this demon statue that my dad got in Vietnam when he was overseas with these beads on it. And that my parents would tell me that if you break the beads, it will come to life.
Why did they not like you?
Trilogy of Terror was 75.
Okay, yeah, cool. It makes sense. My dad got out of the evacuation of Saigon. Yeah, so around that time.
Yep.
And we had it. And I remember they would see the commercials when it would be on TV, and then look at the commercials, and then look at the fucking statue as I'm playing with my, G.I. Joe figures on the ground. It fucking scared the shit out of me.
It's scary.
It's scary, yeah. So, yeah, the fucking, what's it called, MZ?
Trilogy of Terror.
No,
the Zuni doll.
Zuni doll.
The Zuni doll, yeah.
Z-U-N-I.
Do you guys remember Terrahawks? It was on Channel 56. It was one of those puppet, sort of like Thunderbirds Go and something like that.
I think so. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Terror Hawks?
Yeah. It had a fucking awesome song at the end. Living in the 31st century. Living. And there was a character who was it was the first transgender character, and they very politically correctly called it Boigle.
Although, actually, wasn't there a villain in G-Force or Battle of the Planets that had some transgender?
I think that it was ambiguously.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, there was a lot of. If you watch, in a lot of Asian cinema, just in general, like in the main villain in. Yeah.
Oh my God!
This shit was scary,
Holy
right?
shit! I never saw that before.
The main villain in Seventh Curse is a very flamboyant.
Oh yeah.
Actually, yeah, and actually,
Oh, look at that
sort of-
bear!
yeah, it wasn't. It was
Ooh.
fucking scary. That was a good guy too.
Is that fucking Hunter S. Thompson?
That was the main bad guy right there. That's a hero.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it was fucking scary.
This
right?
is vaguely familiar to me, but I don't know.
I bet you one of those ones a Boigle.
I never ever seen that before in my life.
To Dr. Neinstein.
Oh my God,
That's fucking scary, right?
Holy shit! That is really
Jesus
scary.
Christ.
I forgot about that till right now.
Terrahawks?
Yeah.
Terra. Terrahawks.
Yeah, like
terrorizing.
Oh, look at that.
Ah!
Well, yes, but
that guy's awesome.
Wow.
Jeez.
I bet you can find some on YouTube. Let me.
You know what
That's
this
Boigle,
reminds
I
me
think.
of? You know what
Which
this
one?
reminds me
in
of?
the middle.
Remember, I don't know if you guys ever saw this on, I think it was Saturday mornings.
Even the logo is scary.
A show called Vegetable Soup.
Nope.
No?
That sounds really
It was,
familiar.
It was a show that kind of brought all sorts of different cultures from around the world together into one show, and it taught little children about different cultures and things like that. But they always started off the show with this show called Outer Scope 1, and it would feature these wooden puppets with human-sized hands. Almost kind of like Pinhead.
Like
here.
Supercar.
Yeah.
Supercar across the painting or under a fish tank. It can fly anywhere.
Supercar. That looks familiar to me.
That looks a little familiar, yeah.
Jesus. Well, that was
Look at that dude.
Oh, I think it's this. They're playing the song.
This is the Terrahawks theme.
What is this, early 80s?
The song is called SOS, and the artist is Kate Kestrel, who, of course, you'll recognise from her many appearances on that excellent TV program.
Oh, it's from something else, I think.
That looks like the generic MTV VJ.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The hideous Kate Kestrel is appearing on television today. All we have to do.
Is that Boigle?
I think the other one.
It's pretty creepy. Vegetable soup. Here's the theme, MZ. Will that?
Yeah, that's the theme. Vegetable soup. I'm talking about Outer Scope 1.
Oh. Outer Scope 1?
Outer Scope 1.
Oh, man, vegetable soup already looks like they want me to learn. That was a guarantee that I was up too fucking early.
Yeah, right.
It was the 70s, man.
Yeah.
It was a hip time.
All right, let me look for Outer Scope 1. Oh, vegetable soup and Outer Scope 1.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, this looks pretty creepy.
Yeah, this was genuinely creepy.
More learning.
More learning.
One from a pile of planks.
And it's all about this show about these kids who create a spaceship and blast off into outer space, and they all have all sorts of adventures.
Okay.
This is actually what I imagined the inside of your brain to sound like.
Hey, Edgar. What do you want to do today, Edgar? Can we come over to your yard?
Wow.
Oh, hi, Eleanor. And
That's
Henry.
pretty creepy.
Sure, come on over.
She has no
What are you
eyes.
doing with those
No,
boards
barely.
anyway? They're leftovers my dad gave me.
Raven Child, it's like from
I think we ought to build
Mr.
something
Rogers'
with
Neighborhood.
them.
What was that character?
Something special.
Yes.
Something
Yes.
special.
Yes.
X the Owl?
No, the woman. The
Lady Elaine Fairchild.
Yeah, Lady Elaine. Yeah.
Picking up new ideas, you know? I might have an idea.
Who always had her
What?
boomerang
What
with
is
her?
it? What? Remember on TV?
Oh wait, no, that's not a Lady Elaine Fairchild, is it? No.
I think it
Be able
is.
to
No,
steer
Lady
the
Elaine
ship.
Fairchild was the woman on the show who was later seen in.
I think Lady
Dogma.
Elaine was the little puppet.
Yeah. Was it Miss Fairchild? Was it Starchild?
Her name was like Miss Linda, some stripper porno name.
Yeah. Felicity Brown.
Oh yeah, it was Lady Elaine
Yeah,
Fairchild.
yeah.
Yes.
There's a picture of her. Oh my God.
God, that's creepy.
Yes.
Who goes there?
It's neighbor Aber, Lady Elaine.
What do you want?
I'd like to see you.
Why?
Why?
I'm in the shower. We're friends.
Where's the music coming from?
No, not at all. I just thought, since everything that's happened, maybe.
It's coming from that, so it must be some kind of mix.
Lydia Lane's having a party.
Party down
What's
there.
there to talk about?
We're doing lines.
Feelings.
Get naked or fuck off.
Snorting coke off the toilet seat.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm giving that meow meow cat a rim job.
Yeah.
Lick my asshole, meow meow.
Oh, that's Daniel.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
I mean, I love Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but goddamn, Lady Elaine Fairchild was creepy.
That's fucking weird.
Oof.
Fuck.
Oh, is that creepy?
Those are all great, but they're not really cinematic. But we'll let it go.
Unless she does a movie.
Yes.
Oh, Mars sent me the Terrorhawks end credits.
I think it's all right. No. Nope. Well, maybe it is. Is that it?
It's the end credits, I think.
Terrorhawks are gonna fuck you up.
Gonna play tic-tac-toe.
No, this isn't it. God damn it.
Oh, well.
Oh, okay.
So, all right, who else has one?
Aries.
Aries?
Yes.
Yeah, I get two for two different reasons. One terrified me as a child, and that would be the clown from Poltergeist.
Choice.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Choice flick.
And I will go the puppet from Saw, mainly because his sole purpose was just to terrify.
Jigsaw.
Well, not Jigsaw was the person, just the little clown on the
Did he have a name?
I don't know if he had a name or not.
Franklin.
But he just rolled in on that tricycle and delivered whatever message needed to be delivered.
Do you want to play a game? No, I fucking don't, dude. I don't.
In the chat room, Murph's hanging out.
Oh, what's
Yeah,
up,
he
Murph?
sent me some feedback when feedback time comes.
Oh, there's we get a couple actually. So David says, "I'm dumb guy gaming." So it's David.
Oh.
And Serrana's hanging out.
Yes.
She says the
Hey.
best and creepiest puppets are in the Brothers Quay movies. That's a pretty good one.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good choice.
Murph says, "Hey, sexy people, I've missed you."
Ooh, we miss you more.
Hopefully, you come see us soon.
FTM says, "Murph, what's cracking?"
Yeah, Murph, you coming back up this year or what, dude?
And then Murph says, "What's cracking is my brittle spirit." First time Mike says, "I remember vegetable soup, live action scenes with the puppets MZ was talking about, and really ugly animated characters."
Yeah,
And
the animation was pretty rough.
That's
on
why
that
I liked
show.
it, because if they were good-looking animated characters, he'd fucking hate it. He hates good-looking people.
Yeah, I do.
And then Murph says, "Damn, Mr. Rogers is rocking the fuck out." All right, Mars sent me something else here. What we got here?
I'm gonna dance.
Is this it? Oh yeah, this is the Terrorhawks.
Oh, okay.
Look at that fucking creepy doll.
It's like Lonnie Anderson if she was turned into a doll.
It's like Lonnie Anderson mashed up with RuPaul.
Yeah. Lonnie Anderson.
And a little bit of Gem from Gem and the Hologram.
Yeah.
This is Kate Kestrel.
What kind of fucking show is this?
The best show ever. Now that I remember it, it's my favorite.
We watch it every day.
Man, this is
Nice.
cherry lime is delicious.
You know what else was good? You know what else? Other puppet was good. From the Great Space Coaster, Gary Gnu.
I hated Gary.
I loved Gary
It meant it's time to go to fucking school.
No news is good news
Right.
with Gary Gnu.
If only he was. That was a very prophetic puppet. He knew what was gonna fucking come on. Dude.
Come on, jam out. You guys jamming out?
And Baxter.
Oh, yeah. I love fucking the Great Space Coaster.
He's a big doll football tackle machine. He's mean Joe Green. Yeah, I fucking love this shit. me and BK, Brian Kokonak, could watch this shit. It's good stuff.
I don't know why I just saw this, but you said Brian Kokonak. It made me think that I saw Brian Page.
Yeah,
Adam,
you did.
Where?
Psycho Patrick's buddy.
Yeah.
We went and me and Psycho Patrick actually tracked him fucking down at work and showed up at his work and kidnapped him.
He had the best response. So we have a group chat, the four of us, that we, hang out and make bad
resurrected.
jokes all the time. Yeah. And he literally just in the middle of it said, "Oh, my phone is But with him, you can never tell, you know. But he's like, "Oh, my phone's been on airplane mode since I got it 3 months ago. I thought I just had bad service."
No, he said 3 years
3
ago.
years ago. So yeah.
So we got to see him, and he looks like a cross between Ben Franklin, George R.R. Martin.
What?
I'll just show you a picture.
All right.
We didn't even recognize him at first. He looks so different. But no one knows who that is.
Where
So,
is he now?
Right this second, I don't know.
Oh.
Probably home.
Oh. That's fine.
All right. So I think we've all given our picks. I think we have some folks at home that have sent in feedback. They may have some picks.
You know what else is good? Jan Svankmeyer's Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, yeah.
That shit is fucking creepy.
I don't really like puppets.
Is it creepy AF?
Yeah.
It's creepy ass fuck.
I would say so. I would definitely say so.
All right, so let's go to some feedback, and let's hear from Evil Corny. Nice.
Hey guys, this is Evil Corny. My favorite puppet in a film is Fats from Magic. I remember being a little kid, and that kind of scared. Well, I'm not gonna say no kind of about it. That mug scared the hell out of me when I was a kid. I used to be afraid of it, and the clown that was in Poltergeist. Because one of my aunts had actually that same identical clown that was in Poltergeist in her house, and her house was always real creepy and stuff. I think her house might be haunted or something, because I've heard stories about things moving around in there. But anyway,
Those are rats, Corny.
Fats from Magic is my favorite puppet. Also, I don't know if this counts, but one of my other favorite puppets in, I guess, comics is Scarface.
Oh, there you go.
You know, from Batman.
Yeah.
Get the
Y'all have a
Gatman.
good one, Evil Corny out. What up, Raven Shadow?
What's up, baby?
Corny, I thought
Thanks,
we were
Corny.
partners. This is really making me sad.
No, it's all new. We're gonna be Cody and I are working on some new deals.
Yeah, having you be on the presidential ticket scares me because you might be the only person Trump can beat.
So, no, I got some things in the works.
You got some things in the works?
Yeah. A lot of irons in the fire.
As long as it doesn't involve technology, you might be okay.
Why am I gonna do with that?
With technology?
Yeah.
What about an instance where somebody offers to do the technology and the lion's share of the work and you still don't come?
No. Well, what else can I contribute?
All right.
It's already taken care of.
It's got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
All right.
That's gonna be nice. Raven Shadow, Evil Corny.
All right.
The new Power Man and Iron Fist. That's what we're doing.
Power Man 5K?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be
which
another,
one are you?
Yeah.
I think I'm the Iron Fist one.
It's gonna be another Iron Fist where you can't do kung fu.
See, I can do that.
We can't do anything.
I could not do kung fu for hours.
All right, we got another one from our boy, First Time Mike.
TM.
What's up, Trick or Treat family? This is First Time Mike. How's everybody doing?
Good, buddy.
I saw with great interest that you are reviewing tonight Puppet Master, The Littlest Reich. This is a movie that I wasn't sure was ever going to come out. I had heard rumors about it, but the one thing about the Puppet Master series is that there's been a lot of supposed series and ideas that were supposed to come out. I mean, even back in the glory days of Full Moon, back in like from 88 to 95, there was supposed to be the first Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys with some truly gorgeous artwork. But that took years afterwards for a sci-fi original movie that Charles Band had nothing to do with. And from that point on, there was a lot of Full Moon stuff that never got made featuring the puppets, because Charlie Band seems to have an obsession with small dolls and action figures that can kill you dead or be used to sell more action figures or dolls. That being said, the first 5 Puppet Masters are some of my favorite Full Moon movies. My favorite out of the first 5 is Puppet Master 3, which is basically little puppets versus evil Nazis, and they pretty much start kicking the shit out of the Nazis. Guy Rolfe plays Andre Toulon for that movie, and for Puppet Masters 4 and 5. He's great. The classic Mr. Sardonicus when he in his younger years, and Richard Lynch is the villain, playing the hammy Gestapo agents as only Richard Lynch can, with his that air of menace that he can do. Michelle Bauer makes an appearance, and it's good, fun cheesiness that I recommend if you can watch it. Also watch the Puppet Master movies, especially the early ones, for the work of a guy named Dave Allen. I don't know if you guys really talked about Dave Allen that much, but he was a protege of Ray Harryhausen in the realms of stop motion animation. And if you watch a Full Moon movie back in the day, especially before 95, Dave Allen or one of his students did a lot of the special effects, because most of the monsters were done that way. And you can definitely tell classic stop motion animation. Sometimes with Full Moon they didn't blend it in as well as they could, but it was always fun to watch. And as I watch it today, it gives me that nostalgic feeling that CGI work on some of the newer Puppet Master movies just doesn't give me that feel for it. Again, check out Dave Allen on Wikipedia. The guy he's an underrated person in stop motion animation and special effects as far as I'm concerned. I always thought he did great work. Other Puppet Master movies, Demonic Toys series, it's okay. Not my favorite. Blood Dolls is a really, really weird, sleazy movie involving a guy with like a miniature head that wears a mask, and executives are turned into murderous little blood dolls that turn around and kill this industrialist enemies. It's a fun, sleazy little movie. There's like a girl band in a cage with Phil Fondacaro, a fun B-movie actor, electrifying the fence. Just Blood Dolls. It's a sleazy bit of fun. Full Moon has a lot of miniature, things trying to kill you. So those are some of my favorite. Also, Hideous. It's fun and sleazy. This is first time Mike, praising Full Moon Films. Good to talk to you guys again, and wishing you all the best. Goodbye.
Thank you, buddy. Dave Allen. You guys familiar with Dave Allen's work? No? Okay.
David Allen Greer?
No.
He was great in The Wiz.
So, yeah, Dave Allen. I'm not familiar for some, Mike, and you always bring something to the table that we haven't heard of or not as familiar with. So I appreciate you bringing that up. And obviously Ray Harryhausen. When you talk about puppets, you got to talk about Mr. Harryhausen.
Sure.
So yeah, some great stuff there for us, Mike. Thank you, buddy. All right, and this is a little. Actually, I'll play this last because it sort of deviates from the other feedback.
Okay.
But let's go to our boy Arkham Josh.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio guys, it's Josh here. So, calling in about this week's film, Puppet Master, The Littlest Reich, and I'm just going to come out and say it. This film is a treat and a recommend. Now, granted, it's not an amazing film. It's a super fun film. It's a super gory film. It's a super goofy film. So, in the pantheon of Puppet Master films, it fits in perfect. But, with the slightly better effects than most of them and the interesting cast, this is just overall a winner. I've been looking forward to this, and I was very excited when it came out and got the chance to see it. So, yeah, I really like it. I say it's a treat. I say it's a recommend. Obviously, it is left open for sequel. And I'm really looking forward to see where they're going to go from here. So, and thought the cast was a lot of fun. Obviously, it's always great to see Udo Kier and things. Tom Lennon was great. I love it whenever Charlene Yee pops up and things. So that was a lot of fun. And yeah, So I hope you guys all enjoyed it as much as I did, and that you guys have a fun discussion about it. I look forward to hearing that. In other news, unfortunately, as people may have figured out because of the lack of information, but there will be no film room at Rock and Shock this year. I was told a while back, but I figured I didn't want to say anything in case something changed and maybe they sent me an email or something. But yeah, apparently there was some double booking situation, and all the upstairs rooms apparently were not available to them. So no film festival, no film room. I had mentioned that I would still be available to do some panels, but unfortunately, yesterday I got the offer of a paying job on another film festival that weekend. So it looks like I'm probably not going to be there at all that weekend, which I think will be the first one that I have not been at.
Well, there goes my idea.
Which will be disappointing. I am, however, going to attempt to get to your show on the Friday night.
Nice, thank you.
I think I'll probably make it there just in time to see you guys, because the film festival I'll be working on here in Providence will wrap up around 10:30, and I'll probably just drive straight from there up to the show. So hopefully I'll be able to get there in time to see you guys.
We're not headlining.
And so at least, I'll still get the to see you guys in October, like I theorized last week. So, other than that, I hope everything's going great for you guys. I hope everything is fantastic for you guys at Rock and Shock. And I don't know, maybe I've settled into my new job now, and it actually looks like I'm gonna have Thursdays off most weeks. So maybe I can at least get back up there in the studio with you guys sometime soon, all right?
Anytime.
Hey, you guys all have a good one. And as a recap, Puppet Master, The Littlest Reich is a treat and a recommend. So talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Well, that's good news and bad news. Bad news that Josh won't be at Rock and Shock. Bad news that there's no film fest. Good news that maybe we can get Josh in studio sometime.
That's some
silver
compensation right
lining.
there.
Yeah.
Silver lining.
Yeah.
So that really sucks. I love when Josh puts together the film fest, and
I just love seeing him.
yeah, well that too.
He's
Yeah,
just awesome to hang out with.
But it just adds another element and,
Yeah.
and just a cool thing to the whole thing. So
Yeah, that's I've enjoyed going to see a movie there almost every year. So it is what is a bit sad too is I think hopefully you can make it because I know we're playing a little earlier than we normally do on that night. So
all right, so Mars, you want to read the feedback that you got?
well, I gave it to Raven Shadow to read, but he started going through my personal
No, I
conversations.
didn't. No, if I'm reading, I wasn't. I stopped when it was done.
But then I also realized I gave Raven Shadow something to read out loud, so
He's
maybe
like,
you should read it.
So this is how.
No.
He's like, oh, so this is how a real phone works.
No, give that phone to someone else.
Blah, 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 blah.
Not what I do either.
It kind of is.
WNBC.
I'm reading this whole part, right? The whole. Or just the chorus. I'm reading the whole thing.
No, read the whole
just the
conversation.
chorus.
The whole
Okay.
conversation.
All right.
Start from the beginning. Scroll all the way to the top.
By the way, you might write this part.
No.
Is that the
You might get a kick out of this.
No.
That's the part.
Scroll
I
the
don't
other way.
understand.
D&D ended late, so
That's the part. No. Listen, you fucking set me up because you're in cahoots. That was the part he gave me. All right, so I'm reading this. All right.
Read it!
D&D ran long, so no time to record feedback, so I'll just throw it out to you here. Puppet Master, The Littlest Reich was exactly what it needed to be. Different enough to not be a rehash, but tapping into a dark space that the latter sequels haven't seemed to be able to find. It knows what it is, and it doesn't waste time on unneeded character development for characters that get disemboweled anyway. For the most part, the actors commit and deliver a straight performance. It was a close to capturing the magic of 80s as I've seen in a very long time. The ending, unfortunately, feels a bit rushed, and the reveal is somehow cliche and completely different from what you expect. All in all, it's the most worthy Puppet Master sequel since 2, and I hope through keep the main actor and pick up where they leave off. Anyway, love you guys. Yeah, big ups, Noah. Right? Is that the right thing?
Yeah.
Wow, he's not big on Toulon's Revenge.
And then Dynamo says, I have a weird rash. No, that's not, that's not what he says.
It was probably worse.
But that was up fair. I had the wrong part. I was reading something. You think I didn't read it?
Does this look infected?
Yeah, you read our whole D&D conversation. What do you think that had to do with?
No, I thought.
So if we didn't make it clear, that was from Murph.
Murph.
And Murph's in the chat room says, I feel like I missed something earlier. Dynamo looks like he's about to tell me a story about how 8 of his 10 children starved in the old country.
Yeah. It's true.
I lived off the single beat for a day for 10 years.
Yes.
I was forced to cook my pet chicken, Niskayuna. I
never
loved
do
her,
that.
and she tasted terrible. But we ate her anyway. Cold. You do not know cold. I come from Siberia. I was assaulted by Yeti. I didn't know I was supposed to be doing a Siberian accent until the end. So
it's too cold for Yetis in Siberia.
Wow.
All right, we got one more bit of feedback here, and this is different from the other stuff, so I figured I'd play it separately. And it is from our buddy Nick. I think he's going to review a couple flicks.
Hey, Chris.
Here, I'm going to talk about 2 films real quick that I watched that I thought were pretty cool. One was a rewatch that I hadn't seen in a while, which was Better Off Dead. I don't know why I had a affinity to check that out. I just did. And I remember first time I watched it.
$2.
Excuse me. It was after I watched Hot Tub Time Machine.
We boring you, Nick?
Me and my dad watched it, and he goes, "Oh, this is like Better Off Dead, kind of." Just because John Cusack and Skeen. And so I watched it again, and I really loved it. Like, it's goofy as all hell, but it's really funny. And, like, the music is fantastic in it. And, I mean, John Cusack's John Cusack, but he's good. He's good in these, like, early 20s, teenage age kind of movies that he did, which kind of was his career if you keep, like, watching High Fidelity and stuff, but whatever. No, I thought this was great. I don't remember what I graded it last time. I guess I went to go grade it on Letterboxd, and I didn't have a grade for it, so I must have forgot to do it before. But I give it like an A+, or A- maybe, but I think I put it at like an A+. Great film. Just fun. Nothing that I want to watch a ton, but like something that I want to watch every once in a while, and I'll probably give it the same grade. I love the neighbor's kid and the whole thing with that, and $2 is great. The what else? Just everything's great with that movie. Then I recently watched for the first time Doom, the untold story of the first Fantastic Four movie, and man, that's a great documentary. I give that like an A+. It's I can't be trusted to grade documentaries. I mean, I've seen bad documentaries, but it's rare. Like if it's something I'm interested in or just relatively interested in and they impress me with the knowledge, I don't see where they failed, so I loved it. This was cool. This was I felt really bad for the director, the actors, everyone involved. You kind of hate Stan Lee and you kind of hate Marvel and all that because Roger Corman, because you're just kind of like, man, like we get Roger Corman just in and out and does a movie, doesn't care, but like just to screw him over so much like that. And you weren't there, but just hearing the ins and outs of what it's really a one-sided story, which is most documentaries, but yeah, it really sucked. They felt like they wanted to do, they felt like they put their as much as they could into this movie, and this is what happened. And it was, I like that they brought up like Richard Donner and Superman, because they're like, those were that movie, and then we tried to do our own thing. And if you watch those superhero movies from that time, like I went through all the Superman movies and stuff, you can't judge it as harshly as you judge superhero movies now, because back then, yeah, they may had 20-30 years of a comic book, but you don't know how to put that to film, especially back then. You just basically are doing what you see on the page. Does this look cool? Put it in. What should we do? Should we do his origin story? Should we do this? But, you know, at least the Superman movies had the luxury of going, okay, we're doing 1 through 4. Let's try to build some kind of arc or whatever. You know, even that rushed his lineage. But, you know, it's Hollywood. Like I wrote in my review, it's Hollywood. Like, that's just what's going to happen. Bottom of the line is it's money. And if something doesn't make money, it's scrapped. And unfortunately, that's what happened. It was sad to hear, like, they first saw it, like, from DVD rips and stuff like that. From old VHS rips and stuff. That kind of sucked. But you know what? They were cool enough to be like, hey, at least it's out there. But, no, I loved that. I thought it was a great documentary. I think, even if you're not a huge comic book fan, definitely check it out because it's very interesting. And I loved it. So, thanks, guys. Bye.
All right, Nick. Thanks, buddy. And glad you dug both. I still haven't seen Doomed. Have any of you guys seen that?
No. I didn't know it was a documentary, so I think I saw Nick's post.
When he said Dune, I thought he was Dune.
Oh, yeah,
I
right.
didn't know he was going.
Doomed.
Oh, Doomed. Oh, I thought
Doomed.
He said, no, I thought he said Dune, and I'm like, wait a minute.
No, he said Doomed, the untold story of Roger Corman's Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
He said the whole thing. Good thing you listen.
What?
Yeah, exactly. And Better Off Dead is just fucking classic.
I heard him.
Oh, forget about it.
Oh, Better Off Dead is fucking awesome.
So that in theaters, my mom.
Do you realize, though? Do you realize that?
The street value of this mountain, I can't move my right arm.
I'm real sorry
that
your
way.
mom blew up my Ricky.
Go that way really fast, and if something gets in your way, turn. He's skiing on one ski.
Language lessons.
French fries. French dressing. And to drink, Peru.
Michael Peru.
Yes. Michael Peru. So that is it for feedback. Thank you to everyone who took the time to send something in. We appreciate it. What are you doing? Murph says Roger Corman's F4 is awesome, and I'll fight anyone who disagrees.
Well, Monster Zero is making fun of me, and he thinks I don't realize, so I went and found a picture of him on the internet,
Really?
too.
What did you find?
Here you go.
Is him taking a shit?
Well,
Wait. Do it again, MC?
Sabu.
How did that search come up to find that?
Yeah, what'd you do? Search for Monster Zero?
I searched angry fat guy.
That's Francis.
Who's that?
It's Francis.
From Pee-wee?
No.
Well, who the fuck is Francis?
And come on, that dude's like 4 times the size of MZ.
And I don't look
That's
like
not-
Robin
And
Williams.
twice as smart.
Well, you look more like Robin Williams.
Yeah,
than,
you kind of do look like from Mrs. Doubtfire.
I don't know. Sorry.
I've never seen Mrs. Doubtfire.
It's okay, MZ. I remember when I wore a 4XL shirt, too.
He doesn't wear 4XL.
Yeah, whatever. Look at that fucking. We used to, in gym class, we used to fucking.
Look, what size shirt is that? Is it XL or 2X?
2XL.
All right.
No, that's not 2XL. 2XL
Someone
shirt.
look at the tag.
2XL shirt would fit you like a fucking glove. We used to fucking, in gym class.
It's a 2X.
In
2X.
In gym class, we'd fucking throw that.
And you're all welcome for helping him keep his shirt on.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aries.
Take it off. It's fun.
We'd fucking flip that up and everybody crawl under it in gym class.
All right, so next week, I don't know. We'll figure out something else to do in the second half of the show. But we are going to review Summer of '84. Looking forward to that.
It's the only reason I'm coming back.
Why?
Because I want to see that movie.
You wouldn't come back otherwise?
No.
You'd have your streak end right there?
Yes.
Interesting.
My streak probably ended when my fucking soul died.
Your soul died?
Yeah.
How are you still here?
I don't know. Thank God Aries came back. That's all I have to say.
He lost his smile.
You hate Aries.
Aries thinks
You've been nothing but upset with me.
Yeah. Well, he has a new subject for his ire.
I was upset with Tiny all the time too, but I want him to come back.
You want to F him?
Well, because he's smart and knows stuff about movies and
handsome.
Knows the shutter speeds on
muscular.
Apparently he's fit, but
television.
I'm skinny. that came up at the
You
rock
are
and roll show.
you are skinny.
Yeah, you are.
I am skinny.
Yeah,
Tiny
and-
does have more
and he is
muscle
fit.
definition than
Tiny
you.
definitely has muscle definition.
Oh, I've always been a skinny.
Do you
guinea.
even have muscles?
Yeah.
Make a muscle. Make a muscle.
No, don't.
I got to adjust it.
Tiny takes his shirt off. Women get excited. You take your shirt off. Sally Struthers gives you a sandwich.
That's why I leave my shirt on when I'm intimate.
You leave your shirt
That's
on.
saying
when
a
you're
lot
intimate.
because normally she would just eat that sandwich herself.
Jesus.
What does that mean?
Bravo on the timely reference, gentlemen.
Yeah, everyone's like, who the fuck is Sally Struthers?
We knew.
I was Sally just Raphael. That's closer.
She didn't give fucking skinny, impoverished people sandwiches though.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, let's fucking put a catheter in this one.
Yeah.
I don't even know
bomb.
what that means. Let's end
Let's
this.
go. We gotta go.
MZ. Aries.
Goodbye.
Raven Shadow.
Live fast, love hard, die with your mask on.
Marsman. No, I was actually going to say something else, but I wasn't going to. Mars.
I hate my life. Children, go wherever you are.
Just go fuck yourselves.
Yeah.
Go wherever you are.
Yeah. So that audio is fine, right, guys? You can
No,
hear
it was
that?
absolutely
Yeah,
horrible. I was
yeah.
actually going to point that out.
Yeah, whatever. Wherever. My life
Are
is
you
terrible.
stroking the mic stand?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
really is.
yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
good. Let's go.
All right, well, that is going to do it for episode 317.
Elm Street, kids, pick up.
You started talking about Tiny, and this is what happens.
Yeah, well, you look like you were going to eat Tiny the other day, so.
Maybe.
And everything else that didn't move fast enough for you to get.
All right, episode 317. We appreciate everyone who took the time to leave us feedback and everyone who hung out for the live show. You guys are the fucking best. And everyone who's going to listen to the podcast, if you guys haven't subscribed, do so. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and the Satchel Podcast Player. And if you haven't, leave us a 5-star review, especially on Apple Podcasts. I didn't check to see if we had any new ones, but we probably don't. So leave us a new one, and we'll read it next week. We'd appreciate that. And that is going to do it. So next week, we're going to be talking about Summer of '84. Check it out on VOD. Watch it. Let us know what you think. We'll see you next week.